Everybody, welcome to the Toys for Games podcast. This is episode 101. We are back after a couple week break, I guess you could say. Unexpectedly, we decided that after episode 100, we need to take a deep breath, enjoy the holidays, and take a couple weeks off. But here we are. It's the new year. It's 2017. And we are returning with episode 101. This is Wednesday, January 4th, 2017. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined by the man who has traveled back and forth across the country more times than any one person should in a calendar year, Jason Greer.
Good evening. How are we doing tonight, Josh?
Doing mighty fine, my friend. Mighty fine.
Fantastic.
How was your New Year's?
It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You partied it up on the West Coast.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've ever celebrated New Year's not at home. I think it was the first time. There's probably, I don't know. I'm sure it was a time I wasn't at home when it happened, but
nothing significant.
Yeah. Nothing in a different time zone. I'm sure of that, though. So, yeah, it was weird because I did what you said before about, like, a lot of people just wait for the Eastern one.
Yep.
So then...
it's a weird thing, right? Seeing it live at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm trying to find it. So, like, CNN's the only one I could really find that was, like, live. Because Fox and ABC and whatnot still had their NBC and ABC, whatever it was, had the tape delay one. And I was like, well, that's no fun. I want to watch just watch the live it happens. And I had my first instance of West Coast Get Screwed when the Mariah Carey crap was going down on Twitter. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I can't see it. And so I'm like trying to find like crappy cell phone recordings on YouTube, trying to figure out what happened. So I was like, 'cause I'm not waiting 3 hours to find out what happened.
Turns out it wasn't that big of a deal as Twitter made it seem.
What'd you say?
Turns out it wasn't that big of a deal as Twitter made it seem like it was.
No.
Shocking.
Who knew?
See, us West Coasters, like, we have 3 hours usually to, like, process things when they happen. Yeah, so we're just like, it's not a big deal. Stop freaking out, East Coasters.
But yeah, otherwise it was real good.
Yeah.
Took a picture. I think I sent you a picture of my mom, I think, didn't I?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my mother never stays up till midnight. Like ever. I don't know the last time she stayed up for New Year's, probably when I was in like 4th grade.
Sure.
If even that.
Yeah.
So and then obviously there's no way we're making it to the West Coast one. I said it's like 10 o'clock, but then we had an early start the next morning, so I was like, I'm not all about that life.
Right.
So
now, did you fly in that day, or was it the day before?
No, we flew in Friday.
Oh, okay.
But it was just a long day Saturday and a long day Sunday, and obviously a long day Monday, so it was like, get sleep when I can.
Sure.
But the Holiday Inn we stayed at gave us like a welcome package for the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
But then also like included, which I'm sure they used to just because it's always on New Year's, got some like party hats and like one party popper, a single party popper. And
the loneliest
so I was like,
New Year's Eve party.
So I was like, I need to use it. So I was gonna pop it next to my mom like at midnight.
Sure.
But
while she
was
was sleeping.
Yeah.
I
thought that. He's like, I'm okay with that. I was like, all right, sweet. and so anyway, she woke up like, it was really weird. She woke up like 2 minutes before it happened. Like, how'd you even know? And so then I was curious. I was like, I wonder what happened. Like, is there enough smoke in these things to set off the fire alarm? So then I tried to find out and shot it off near the fire alarm, which it didn't go off. But
no.
I was curious. So
yeah.
Otherwise, it was good.
You went to a football game, the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
Quite possibly one of the best Rose Bowls ever in the history of college football.
Yeah, it's top 2, undeniably top 2. Yeah. Me personally, I don't think it beats USC Texas.
Right.
That was for a national championship.
Yeah, a little bit more on the line there.
Right, but definitely number 2.
Sure.
Set like 9 or 10 Rose Bowl records. A freaking 4.5-hour football game.
Yeah.
And not even going to overtime.
That was the longest regulation football game in history.
Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I looked at my watch and I'm like trying to do like the math in my head, and I was converting it to Eastern time also, even though I really didn't have to, just because I'm like, this thing feels long.
Yeah.
So I felt like if I converted to East Coast time, it would like somehow, even though I knew like it's more than 3 hours, but
right.
Yes, 4.5 hours I think is what the total time was.
Yeah.
But fantastic game, so good, top to bottom. I haven't been saying this too much publicly just because like I don't think he'd be embarrassed by it, but not whoever listens to the podcast. But it was a really cute moment, so I don't think he'd even be embarrassed me telling the story. But my dad's been a huge Penn State fan all his life.
Okay.
And been obviously either a Penn State fan, Big Ten fan, even a college football fan. Like you want to go to the Rose Bowl. Like it's one of the top sporting moments. It's in football in the American sports.
Right.
Period. It's up there in the top 5.
It's iconic.
Right. So always wanted to go to the parade, everything like that. My mom's always wanted to go to the parade. So he's been a huge Penn State fan. My dad, for whatever reason, just doesn't go to games very often. I think he just doesn't like to take the initiative, doesn't want to ask people, just whatever reason, just never gone to Penn State games. So he went to the first one like last year, I think he went. Someone had an extra ticket, so he went. Had the time of his life. I think it like rained, so it wasn't even like, he enjoyed it, but wasn't as much as he, could have.
Right.
But again, just never really got to go to experience it. So he's spent, 50 years waiting for this moment. And so we get out there and he's enjoying it, and he never shows emotions. Mm-hmm. Very rarely shows emotions.
Yeah.
At funerals, like he just always keeps to himself.
He's the rock.
Yeah, a quiet guy. But so anyways, third quarter happens. Penn State's the second half team, if you don't know. They come out and just go full blown crazy. Score 3 touchdowns in the first 4.5 minutes off just two passes or 2 plays, 144 yards. Mm-hmm. Both plays were over 70 yards apiece. Both incredible plays, like play of the year candidates. Then gets like this crazy fumble, interception. I don't even know what you even call it, whatever that was. Ran that back, and then like next play scored a touchdown. It was just chaos. They scored 4 touchdowns in 4 plays, basically is what it was. Carrying over from the first half. So it was just nuts. Everything's going nuts. I look over at my dad, legitimately crying. Right. I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, this is just great. And I'm like, Dad, and like just the man's happy, And it was beautiful to see. So it's well worth for that, just to see him
That's
just
so awesome.
Enjoying the moment. Like always wanted to be the Rose Bowl, and just there was 5 game minutes of just pure Penn State bliss. It was great to see. So yeah, it was well worth it. Like I said, it was a good time. Thankfully, I was able to meet up with Amy during the game. I looked over at the right time, saw her and a couple of girls head out to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, well, time to go find her. So I was able to catch her when she was coming out of the bathroom, just to get a picture with her in her Penn State garb, which I don't typically get to do just because she's always busy.
Right.
So it's fun to see her with that, and fun to see the parade and everything. Apparently, the parade cut out right when they got to the Silks, so they didn't even get their TV time. So that was kind of a shame. But parade was super fun. Game was super fun. Flight didn't have any issues, anything either way. So pretty flawless thing. I will give one shout out. Right, 2. I need a text. I keep forgetting to text George about this, and thanks for the shoes he gave us. Mm-hmm. Those shoes for like the 9.5 miles I walked on Monday.
So good, right?
Feet felt great.
Yeah.
Feet felt great.
Yeah.
So, but shout out to the LA public transit system.
You don't hear that often.
To go from Pasadena down to like the convention center, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the whole way down. I got a couple blocks away because I didn't want to transfer like a third time, or second time, I should say. I only had to transfer once. Took the gold line down, and then transferred out to Union Station, and then took the red or purple train over to a spot where I was meeting Amy at her hotel for breakfast. $1.75.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're just $1.75 entrance, and you get like up to 2 hours or something or other.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Not that I don't think they can really check that much, but
it's
really no.
Mainly honor system.
Right.
Yeah.
And then same thing.
You don't want to be caught. Let's just put it that way.
Right. Yeah.
Like you could push it, but
I think it's like a $400 fine or something like that.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's worth the extra $1.75 if you couldn't push it past.
So yeah, it was great, and then $1.75 back, so it's $3.50 to go down. Save me 50 minutes of driving plus whatever parking would be and gas, and
right.
That was great. It was no issue, and then we took that to the game, and they had it well coordinated because they knew a lot of people were going to try and take it from Pasadena from the Rose Bowl parade over to the game.
Sure.
Unfortunately, which this is like the one downside of it. Obviously, the stadium was there, in my opinion, probably before any of those train tracks were, because it's been there since like the 20s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's weird they don't have anything reaching there. the Memorial Parks where you have to get off, and it's still like a 1.9 mile walk across like highways and all kinds of craziness to get to the stadium. So you feel like they would have something closer. You could take like a shuttle, but it's only, like if I took the shuttle bus, there's still gonna be the same traffic as everybody else. I would think. I don't think they have like some secret back entrance. They get in. Maybe they do. Maybe they have roads closed or something. I don't know. But I was like, but then like the wait to get on the shuttle was like legitimately 2.5 blocks long. I'm like, yeah, right. So, but getting there, like they had this nice fence and queued line, made sure everybody got in line, and it was just like put everybody on the train, and then the next people they told them to go the whole way down to the station, and everybody got on. Like it was a flow. It was the best they could possibly do with the thing they had. There's no way on that. And then same when the train back, because Memorial Park, it was much busier just because people were trying to get on the different trains going to different places. And same thing, they had nice fenced-in area, and there was like a bunch of people working, and they had people with like mobile devices to check the tap cards so that you didn't have to wait, for the 2 terminals that they had there. Just get on real quick and in and off you went.
Nice.
So it was good. And shout out to the USC fans. There was, as far as I could tell, there was no fan disturbances anywhere for a highly emotion-filled game, big game, and how the game ended and everything. There was nothing like it was going along. There was jokes back and forth, and everybody like I was talking to USC fans on the way out. Like, man, that was a game. I was like, right, and it was like if you saw the reaction afterwards, you wouldn't know who won the game.
Sure.
So it was
the best part about like bowl games is like ultimately they don't mean anything.
Right.
So like both sets of fans are usually
just Ohio State because they laid an egg.
Well, okay, yeah. Ohio State fans are completely different than any other fans in the country, with the exception of maybe Alabama fans. But what I'm saying is, other than like the actual playoff bowl games, and the championship game, of course, like there is nothing really at stake with bowl games, and the fan bases are just kind of happy to be there, and usually they're nice destination places where the bowl games are, with the exception of like Boise, Idaho, which nobody wants to go to Boise this time of year. Why they have a bowl game there is ridiculous.
The Detroit game.
Yeah. There's a few choice locations and a few not so choice locations, but especially the Rose Bowl, like you said, like it's about the pageantry, it's about the parade beforehand. It's the new year. Like most teams are just stoked to be at the Rose Bowl, and that's it's something that I've always assumed but never got to experience firsthand. So it's nice to know from you directly that it is kosher between the fan bases, and everybody's in good spirits, and especially with a game like you said like that was so chocked full of emotions and intensity that at the end everybody's kind of still high-fiving each other regardless of which colors they're wearing.
Yeah. I mean, they were still like booing and yelling and stuff at the game, but it wasn't like offensive by any means. It was just just people
sports.
Being people. But yeah,
you can't get away from that completely with sports.
And so, but again, like there was no issues, and people were back and forth, and like it was weird because it was one of those even the official pregame like parties they had out on like the lawn, they were combo. Like there was no like official Penn State thing. Like there's the Penn State alumni kind of thing, but even that wasn't exclusively Penn State fans. And like all the ones that we saw with people camping looked like there was no like sections. Like the one that we passed, they had like it was split even with people just combining foods and making a thing. Like it was just a nice celebration of like, hey, humanity, we can enjoy sports, be passionate, and not be jerks. So yeah, it was good. It was really, really good. And I think at the end of the day, it was just both teams realizing like at the beginning of the year, both teams should not have been at this game. Right. So I think they're both just excited to be there. And that again, that you didn't go to like some like 6-3 boring defensive battle. It was you well worth your money with that game. So It was exciting.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so glad you had a good time. The question everybody wants to know, though, of course, is were you able to make it to Disneyland or not?
I was not. I was texting Brett back and forth about it, and it was what the problem was. Saturday, and I have to remember what everything we're doing every single day. I don't remember what we did till Saturday. It was raining all day. Saturday. What did we do?
I know Sunday you were out and about scouting, like the parade route, I think, right? Or the stadium.
Well, Sunday we went to the oh no, that's what Saturday. That's right. Saturday we did the float decorating. That's what we did.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we did that and then left. That's right. Saturday was at float decorating. So we went to the 3 different places where they have the floats being made. Which sadness on that. Apparently the Tournament of Roses organization bought some huge massive structure to have like everything in there permanently and be like their building, which they have one permanent building and the other 2 were one looked like it was like a permanent building ish. One was definitely because it had like the logos on the side,
right,
and the one was like a temporary giant tent thing they put up. But they bought some structure that I guess can host all of them, like everything in one giant complex.
Okay.
And it apparently should be pretty nice, but it's a half an hour away from Pasadena, so it's a bummer for Pasadena, so you can't just go and like, because you could basically walk to everything. 2 of them were at the stadium, which again was kind of fun. Go to the stadium, check out the stadium a little beforehand, go over to the floats. But 2, I don't know how they're gonna get all these floats half an hour away to the thing. So I guess they're gonna have to like shut down roads, which maybe could be nice because maybe it could open up for other people to see the parade who don't really care about the parade part of it.
Sure.
Just want to see the floats they could see on the highway. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a bummer, but it's kind of fun that we got to see the last time apparently. That this is from one official worker who told us this. So again, plans could change and things get delayed or something. But yes, we did that. And then Saturday was Band Fest, where they have all the bands that are marching perform on Friday, I think, and Saturday. Like there's like 3 sessions. So Penn State was in the afternoon, so I was gonna go to that. It was raining then, and apparently the event was sold out. So we couldn't even go in if we wanted to, but I really just want to see Amy. So there's a parking garage right next to the field.
Right.
So like everybody was just in the parking garage watching, staying dry, and not paying.
Sure.
But like it was weird. Like the cops kicked everybody out of this one level. Apparently, they came down to like the second level, and then there was like 50 people. Well, no, probably 100 people in there. So I don't know why they kicked people out the first time. I don't know if they knew there was a bunch of people downstairs. Like it was one of those, they weren't gonna be able to kick out that many people.
Sure.
Like who's really like it's sold out. So, like, it's not like we could pay if we wanted to, and, like, it's a band fest. Like,
we want to give you money, but you won't let us give you money, so...
Right. Yeah, so, like, just calm thyself. Then had In-N-Out Saturday night. Then, Sunday, went up, met Amy for breakfast before the pep rally, then drove from that at dinner, and then went over to their open practice they had for the band, where, like, ESPN was scouting it out and trying to figure out what all they were doing so they could get their cameramen at the right spots.
Sure.
At a local field, and that was an interesting thing, trying to figure out where it is. But a fun Philly connection I made there was at Glendale Community College.
Okay.
It says donated by, and I don't know if they mean the scoreboard, the field, how much was donated by, but none other than a graduate from the 71-72 football team, Philadelphia Eagles coach Andy Reid. Now,
no
Kansas City Chief. Yeah, he played at Greendale, or not Greendale. See, that's why I kept mixing up Greendale from Community. Glendale Community College there in California. He played there, apparently. So he used a bunch of money to pay back. So he had a nice little field there, but could not find the parking for the life of me there. It was like at nighttime, and it's like on a hill. So like it was just hard to find. We think we found it was kind of blocked in by the buses because I think it's not designed to host the Blue Band, and they're like 6 buses. And so we just like parked on the street, but it was like at this weird spot that like looked like it was legal, but there was like nobody around. So I was like, we're probably going to get towed, but it's okay. But met it there, no problems. And then obviously Monday was our 9.5 mile trek to the parade and to the Rose Bowl. And it was a grand old time.
Overall, sounds like a great little vacation.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you dragged your parents there.
Yeah, and dad was gonna go no matter what. He thought I was gonna go like leave Sunday and come back like Monday. I'm like, Dad, I'm not that much of an idiot, Like if I have the time off of work, I'll just use that up and go to the place, But if if it was like if the game was on like Saturday, then I'd probably have to make it like a there and back. And Mom was just gonna go to the parade, but talked her into going to the game. So proud of her for doing as much walking as she did.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, glad you made it home safely. Glad you had a good time with the family. Glad you got to be there in support of Amy. Just glad overall that everything went well with your travel of 2016. It was dicey. I'm not gonna lie and say I wasn't worried about you a little bit. It could have gone bad quickly, but I think having your parents there probably helped out any possible situations that you may have come across. Sad that you didn't get to sneak into Disneyland for a little bit, but
hopefully be back in July. So
yeah, but you're not going to see the holiday decorations in July.
I know.
Yeah,
but
you're also going to Disney World in February.
The only day I would have been able to go was like Saturday, and it was like raining and stuff, and I would not have enjoyed it as much.
You lie. You would have enjoyed it just as much.
Well, no, because stuff would have been closed. But I would have enjoyed it, but not as enjoyed it as much.
You're going to Disney World in February, so I mean,
I would have enjoyed being there for 15 minutes. I would have drove 2 hours to be there for 15 minutes. But...
How quickly can I walk through Cars Land and back?
No doubt.
That's all you really need to see, right?
Use the JV secret entrance.
Mm-hmm. Jump on the Jingle Cruise, take a lap around the pond. Call it good. Regardless, you're back. We're back. This is episode 101. Let's get started, shall we?
Let's do it.
You mentioned George Torres earlier. Big shout out to George Torres, our executive producer. We can't do the show and everything that we do for the community without his help. He continues to be awesome. Even when he texts us in the middle of the night to remind us that Monster Trucks is still a thing that's really happening, allegedly. We'll talk more about Monster Trucks later, I promise. Yeah. Also, our show sponsor is Devin Lachinsky. Big thank you to him as well. You could find him on his YouTube channel over at youtube.com/user/DLASCH2. That's the number 2. Thank you to both of those gentlemen. With that being said, first, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to episode 100. That was pretty epic, if I must say so myself. We had a lot of fun. It was extremely fun doing it live, like having the chat, being able to interact with people on the fly, like that added an element to the show that I think was a lot of fun. Having Matt moderate for us was amazing. I think the highlights, here's my 2 takeaways from episode 100, Jason. One was Matt doing the Dark TJ voice.
Oh my god, where did that come from?
The fact that he did warn us ahead of time about anything, right? The questions, right. How things were going to go, nothing. For him to pull that out just on a whim, incredible. The man baffles me day in and day out. And then 2, I think the ultimate highlight was the cliffhanger ending.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
It was. You did not tell me that was happening.
Nope.
I was legitimately kind of getting upset/worried because, like, we've had this agreement forever now that we don't want to know who Shopkins Inquirer is, and I think I thought that you were breaking it, and I was a little heartbroken that you were just like, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
And to be clear, I legitimately, I promise you right now, still have no idea.
Oh, I believe that, but at that moment, I'm like, oh crap. Yeah. He knows, and this is how it's gonna happen. Like, this is it. This is going down. This is really happening.
And it was fun. To give credit where credit's due, I think it was Long's Toys. Was it Chris or somebody in the comments said about? No, I don't think it was Chris. I forget who it was. Somebody said it's been long enough.
Yeah.
Shopping, reveal yourself, and they even started doing like a somewhat play on it. So I was sitting there, I was like, I feel like we need to do something to funnily end the show. And I was thinking like, this is legit like 30, like a minute before I did. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it this way because I had control over the show. Like I was the only one who could do anything. So because it wouldn't have worked if you were controlling the end button. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And again, it was one of those things. I didn't know how quick it turned off. I could have swung and missed hard with this joke, and because the same thing, I didn't know if I could, when I click end, does it really end at that spot? Does it take a second? Like, I have no idea. Right. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we'll see what happens. And so I did hit end, and it was funny. Like Amy texted me afterwards. She's like, I was busting up laughing because she was saying, because I told her before, because I was like, I have no idea. Like, she knows I have no idea who it is.
Sure.
So she's like, was kind of like, wait, and then tell me, kind of thing. And then,
of all people.
Right. And so then she's like, that's hilarious. And I was like, I was pretty proud of that ending.
Well, you had like the shirt thing planned, so I'm like, okay, he showed his hand. Like this is what he has planned for episode 100 was the shirt gag, which was good. I liked it. But by the end of the show, I wasn't expecting anything else. Nothing. And you pulled it off perfectly to the point where, again, I thought it was real. I'm pretty sure Matt was thinking like that was legit also. But the best part was after you clicked the button and all of us are just sitting there with each other, but watching the chat explode. That was like, oh my god, that just happened, and that's so amazing.
I should have started a screen record of us, because it shows, but I don't think you were necessarily looking at the on air off air thing, and because I wasn't making the parent, I was clicking the button or anything, so I clicked it, and it was like I waited like 2 seconds just to make sure like it ended.
Yeah.
And then two of you were just like, "That's Terry." I was like, "Nah, I literally have no idea who it is." And then like everybody started busting up laughing.
Good stuff. But yeah, episode 100. It was a lot of fun. It was 100 episodes in the making. Who would have thought we would have made it to 100 episodes? I feel like we did it justice. We had a lot of fun doing it. It was very our style, and that's what I appreciated most about it. But here we are, episode 101. We're moving forward. It's 2017. Jason, do you realize that we are 2 weeks away from our 2-year anniversary?
That's crazy talk.
Absolutely insane, right? Last year, for our 1-year anniversary, we decided that we were going to celebrate by having the first ever Toys for Games award show. That went well. It went much better than expected, I would say. We had a lot of fun doing it. We had a lot of fun community interaction. We had some fun guests. Everything about it was fantastic. We're going to do it again. We're doing it again. The second annual Toys for Games award show. Our official anniversary date is January 19th. At this moment in time, we are tentatively scheduling January 19th, a Thursday evening, to be the second annual Toys for Games award show. Now, there's a caveat to that. There's a licensing deal that we're trying to work out that may or may not come through in time. We may need to adjust the date specifically a day or two. But we're shooting for January 19th. We will know more by this weekend. We will have a, for sure, 100% confirmed date this weekend. We're also possibly going to try to do it live. Episode 100 went really well. I was super worried about it, but everything went great. We were still able to snag the recording from it and put it up on the iTunes feed. So I think we're going to try to do it live again. And what could possibly go wrong with a live award show? Nothing at all. So, in the background, we're currently working on deciding on all the categories we want to do, all the nominees. But for those that may have missed it last year, this is our way of celebrating the Toys to Life genre. We want to, thank all these companies and developers and artists that are the reason for this genre existing. The entire Toys to Life community is fantastic. This is our way to honor and celebrate it. Everybody knows Toys to Life games don't get nearly the respect in mainstream video game journalism as they deserve, especially when it comes to game award shows and that kind of stuff, game of the years. So this is our way of giving back to the community that we love, that we have fully embraced, that has embraced us, and we have a lot of fun with it. So we have a few things lined up, possibly looking at adding some more categories than we did last year, some really good nominations. This weekend, everything should go up. I'm aiming at the latest by Sunday night. We encourage people to vote, to have a voice, to be heard, to participate in selecting the winners. So that's always fun and exciting. But also, Jason, a few weeks ago, this thing came up kind of out of nowhere, and you turned it into something that we are going to do on the award show. And that is the hypothetical futures of the Toys for Games crew. I feel really bad. I wish I could remember the emailer who... Was it Alex?
It was Alex.
It was Alex. Of course it was Who else would have been other than Alex? Atari Alex wrote in with a hypothetical future of what's going to happen for myself and for you. We thought it was funny. We thought it was hilarious. I disagreed with Alex's predictions, but what's new? So you encouraged the listening audience out there to create their own hypothetical futures for us. And several people have already written in. They've emailed us with their written out hypothetical futures. We are going to read them all on the award show, and we are going to select a winner, and the winner is going to receive, was it 3 figures of their choice?
That was 5.
5 figures of their choice.
1 of the 2.
It might have been 3, but it's 5 now.
Sure.
As long as they're not like the rare chase variants or impossibly hard to get or super expensive ones. 5 figures of your choice to the winner, whoever we deem to have the funniest and best hypothetical futures for us. So send those in to our email address, podcast@toysforgames.com. You have a couple weeks to get them in. I will obviously send out reminders, and once we know the for sure date, you will know the cutoff for that. But I've read the ones that have come in so far, Jason, and they are good. They are fantastic.
Fantastic. Yeah. I want to know. Don't tell me nothing.
No, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but we got some doozies. So we might come up with a fun way to present them throughout the show. Might be kind of hard to do it live, but we'll figure something out. I have an idea floating around, so
all right.
We'll talk about it off air. But regardless, send those in for your chance to win, and basically your opportunity to roast us. You don't be serious with it. Be funny, be hilarious, be entertaining. But for the most part, have fun. So that's on the horizon for us. That's a couple weeks away. Crunch time, but we work best in crunch time, it seems. That being said, let's get to the news. It's been a few weeks. We have some things to talk about. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's start off with, who would have ever guessed this? Disney Infinity.
Still kicking.
Disney Infinity is sponsored, finally, once again, by our good friend James Holian over in the UK. You can find him on Twitter @InfinityMuseum. He's always stoked to sponsor this segment. We don't get to talk about Disney Infinity nearly enough anymore. We all know why. We don't need to rehash those bad memories. But we have a bit of news to talk about. And this one, I think, has left people smiling and, maybe wiping a tear or two away. But, Jason, what do we got?
Yeah, so the big news that came across this morning, and thanks to one of our Twitter followers for bringing it to our attention. Let me actually go back to figure out. I forget who it was. Live radio folks here. It was Cincy Crendo, Chris Cincy Crendo, on Twitter @Cincy, not Crendo. Where's the R in there? Cincy Kendo, CINCYKENDO. Sorry about that.
We're good at reading.
That's right. Sitting over there, but yeah, one of the Disney Infinity artists published a picture on their portfolio. Who knows when it went up?
It's probably sitting there for weeks.
I know, right? Of one of the Rogue One characters, being Baze Malbus, one of the guys in there with the big weapon guy, basically. Yeah.
The tank character,
right? So he did the design on him. So he was published one of the digital photos of what the figure, but again, that's the press shot per se, as we always call them, that Disney's been doing for him. So looks great. Again, like the base and everything with it. So it would have been another great Disney Infinity figure. As I said before, it's no it's changing whatever aisle you're on. But some people this makes them happy. Some people are upset. I still got another 1,500. Is making deeper. I could go on my rant again about getting over it, but anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks great. I again appreciate all the Rogue One characters coming out. or all the future characters coming out. This is, like I said, the Rogue One's the ones I think will probably be about the last ones we'll see.
Right.
Everything else, will probably be in concept, but I don't think anything will be in, press shot worthy. But because those I'm sure have to go through like 5,000 approval processes, so those were probably done pretty early. But they were done as far as I know, and I don't know if painted or where they were, but I know they had them locked up and you could play with them. But again, I don't know what phase they were in, if they were hard plastic or molded clay or whatever they were in.
Right.
But again, even if they physically come out like Peter Pan, the game's not going to be updated ever to put it on them. But
yeah,
is what it is at this point. But yeah, it looks great. Hope we see the other ones. As far as the Rogue One characters go, I think I've talked about it here on the podcast before, but the initial lineup that was planned was the 5 main characters we know in the show, in the movie, the main rogues, plus K2SO. So it would have been our first playable droid, which some people would be upset saying, it should have been C-3PO or R2-D2. But I mean, if you logically think about it, K2SO is more than capable of doing everything that the other droids were unable to.
Right.
As far as making it into a Disney Infinity character. So
and honestly, hypothetically, say Disney Infinity sticks around, this would have opened the doors for more droids to come in. Like, we would have got a C-3PO with Episode 8 because he's going to be in that movie. So, relax.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so it looks great. Hopefully we see the other ones. That Disney or Star Wars, Lucas doesn't get too mad about it. But because I think, again, it doesn't hurt anything.
No.
Them putting it out. I mean, the movie's out now, so it's not like there's going to be spoilers with it. So
yeah, this didn't come out before the movie or anything like that. And honestly, there was a good chance that we were never going to see these in any form. So the fact that we've at least gotten one, that's pretty cool. Would I like to see the rest? Absolutely. But to even get something from Rogue One seemed almost impossible a few months ago. So
yeah, especially because of how, from what I heard from people, it was under pretty hard lock and key.
Yeah.
So, surprised it got out. But again, who cares at this point? It's water on the bridge. So hopefully more come out. So if you know a Disney Infinity developer, send us a tip. I'll leak it. Don't care in one bit. So
they don't even have a Twitter account to yell at Jason through. So
nope.
Anyway, it's nice to see Disney Infinity still, surprise us every now and then with things that never will be, but could have been at one point. So, moving on, let's talk a little bit about Skylanders. Skylanders is sponsored by our good friend Matt Sonnenberg. You can find him on Twitter at SCLMatt. You can also find him on Twitter at As a Matter of Matt. Go over to his website, sclmatt.com, or just go to SkylandersCharacterList.com. Any way you want to get a hold of Matt, you should do so. He's a pretty rad guy. Although he is a Packers fan, so that, he has one strike against him. Other than that, he's pretty good, I guess.
He's okay.
What's going on with Skylanders?
Yeah, so Skylanders, a couple of things happening as we're speaking. Well, one thing major is that Pinata seems to be shipping, heading out to your mailboxes if you pre-order or back-ordered or whatever you want to call it with Amazon. So they say it's going to ship in 1 to 2 weeks, and we're hitting that time frame. So coming this weekend for many people who put that pre-order in. So hopefully those continue the process and get shipped out. Again, that is the dual pack for right now. The single just Pinata figure will be coming out in a later wave. Expected to, I should put it at least. So if you want to go ahead and get that now, you just get that with a creation crystal for $20. Again, available at Amazon. Did you get the discount with it? I can't remember if they applied it or not.
I don't even know. I didn't even care. When Matt sent me the link to pre-order, I'm like, I don't even care. Whatever. Charge my card as much as you want. That sucker's coming home to me. I have no idea if that. I could look it up actually.
Because it was a weird thing because it was it was out on December 13th or 18th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have pre-orders up, and then they finally went up at in the evening the one day. So it was one of those technically it should have, but I don't know it was a weird for their promotion that they have where it's a pre-order plus a week after it's released.
Right.
I don't know. I think it did as far as I know, but I don't remember.
Let's see.
But So yeah, there. The one thing to look forward to though, if you are getting one, be sure to cross your fingers. You might get lucky. There is a Chase variant pinata out in the wild. Some places overseas who are getting the dual pack in store so far was able to find the clear blue version. It's like a dark blue, almost like a blue raspberry kind of blue pinata figure. So again, obviously at this point you can't really look because it's based on Amazon's pure luck of sending it to you. But chance to be sure to look, you might strike lucky. I think I heard somebody, at least one person who got like a Chase variant in like the Amazon 12 pack, like those villain packs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did hear about that.
Yeah, there's always a chance. It's like the one time with Funko Pops, I was on like the subreddit. There was like 2 weeks where like Amazon was sending Chase variant Funko Pops out like candy. Like it was like 18 a day. Like, thanks Amazon. Like does like Amazon have them like a separate box, and all of a sudden like, you know what, now's the time. I was like sending them to everybody. But so we'll see. But again, obviously if the dual packs come in store as single figures, be sure to look to that. But hopefully some of you get your hands on that.
Also, I would like to point out that the unofficial yet pretty much official name for this Chase variant is the Rock Candy Pinata, dubbed by yours truly. Matt ran with it as he does. So, you know, anybody that may find a Rock Candy Pinata out there, get a hold of me. I am very interested in having that in my collection. I'm not one for being super excited about the chases. Like, if I find one, awesome. But I'm not going out of my way to buy them from eBay or anything like that. However, we're talking about Pinata here. Pinata is my boy. We go back, way back. And if there's a chase of Pinata, I would very much like to add that to my collection. So, you know where to find me, folks. You know where to find me. We'll work something out.
Indeed.
Also, I paid $19.99 for the thing.
Yeah, so that's what it was a weird thing just because how it fits into their thing, but who knows?
Yeah, because this is the first dual pack that they've sold, right? Also,
what's that?
This is the first dual pack that they've sold because all of them have been Best Buy exclusive, right?
Yeah, the two that they released so far this year was.
Yeah, they don't even know what to do with this thing. All I know is that it has not shipped yet, but it's scheduled to show up to my door Thursday, January 12th.
There you go.
That makes it officially, possibly the best day of 2017. Between that and the Switch presentation, I can't ask for anything else, Jason.
It's gonna be a busy time.
I'm just gonna sit there and hold my Pinata and watch Nintendo present the newest and best console. Yeah, can't wait.
Sorry, Disney officially it's been rumored / speculated for a long time, but Girl Meets World was just officially canceled. It was just hitting its stride. It was actually getting really good.
I like that show.
Fitting towards the end, so it was kind of apparent. Writer Strong even came out, said like it being done, and then the writers came out saying like it wasn't done. But there's 3 episodes left in January, and the last episode's called Girl Meets Goodbye. So like it looks like they already knew well ago. But
did it just not have the viewership, or
I think it was going down. And I don't know anything about Disney like scheduling, but it always seemed weird to me. It was like because it was on like a weird time slot. It was like 8:30 or something,
right,
which is weird for like a headlining show. Like typically it's always like at the top of the hour, kind of a thing. And then it was always at like their show would be really weird. Come for like a week or 2, be off for like 4, come back for 3, to be off for like. So I don't know if that's just normal for Disney programming. I don't know because I don't watch any other Disney programming but that. But it was like super hard to keep track of, and I would forget about it, and then like oh shoot, I'm like 4 episodes behind, and then watch it, and there was never like an off season, so it was always like year round. They would just take like 3 weeks off and then do an episode, and so like it seemed really hard to track.
Sure,
but
and so, I mean, as far as like fan base is concerned, like that's hard to get into a show if you don't even know when the next episode is going to be airing.
Right. Which, again, shooting themselves in the foot. My top pick for new show of the year, Designated Survivor on ABC.
Mm-hmm.
Ended on a cliffhanger, which it does pretty much every week, but this is a pretty big one on this one. And
December, it's off till like the second week of March, and it's like everybody's gonna forget about it.
Right.
So whatever. But because I guess they were behind because they ordered so many episodes, and then realized people like it, and so they're trying to order more episodes, and they're just behind. But still, good luck. Which I'm okay with because I don't want that show to be renewed for a second season. Because we're the premise of the show.
Right.
I hope they finish it still, not just like cancel it. But
sure. Not to break the fourth wall or go behind the curtain too much here, but what in the world has happened to your microphone?
Really?
Yeah. You suddenly went super echo, like, I don't know, like maybe you unplugged your mic and now your laptop is picking up a mic or something.
No. Here, let me unplug and plug back in.
Okay. We're sorry for the technical difficulties here, folks. This is unexpected.
How about now?
Yeah, much better.
Who knows? Snowball sometimes just has to be unplugged and plugged back in, just like a computer.
Sure. That was fun. That was a weird thing to hear. I was like, I don't know what just happened, but okay.
But something happened.
Yeah. What in the world were we talking about?
Before this, we're talking about
Skylanders.
Skylanders. Skylanders.
Let's talk about that employee variant.
Yeah. So the employee variant again, they're coming out this year. Again, they've done it I guess they've done it every single year, haven't they?
I believe so. Yes.
But yeah, so they're pretty cool design. They're always pretty interesting. The last couple of years have been like over the top. Like, I think they know it's now becoming like a thing with the internet. Before it was just kind of like, oh yeah, here's this fun gift. But now they're like changing the box style, and the figures are getting a lot more detailed and unique than just just your normal chase variant or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're being a little bit more intentional with the design, I guess is the way to put it.
Right.
This one is based on Ember, called December, so DEC-Ember.
So good.
So good. Again, it was right there in front of our faces the entire time. So bummed didn't catch it, but yeah, it looks really, really great. Again, caught wind of it again because it always shows up on eBay. And people always complain like, well, they don't even want it. Why are you putting it up on eBay? Why are you making them? Once again, I mean, how many? I don't know who it goes to. Everybody who had some kind of hand in Skylanders. So I don't know how many are made.
Sure.
But it's super small. If you want to be, I mean, there's definitely less than 10 of those Peter Pan figures, and so far 2 of them on eBay. So, so that, I mean, you can talk about whatever you want about that side, but
right.
I think it's great. Again, if I worked on I wish we get like Christmas bonus, but if you worked on something that like physically something like that, I think that's a really awesome idea because most employees are passionate about what they work on too, I'm sure. So it's kind of cool to get something like that.
Also, sometimes like holiday season is stressful, financially sometimes for people, and sometimes you just want to buy your kids some cool gifts and you don't have the extra cash for it, and if you could swing one of those figures for a couple of extra $100, go for it. Yeah.
But yeah, so
they put in their time great all year. They can do what they want with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So looks great. Pretty cool there. So I would like I don't know if they had him in that casing that we saw. Just don't get to see him too often in person, but
yeah,
at E3. But yeah, looks great. Then the final piece of information, one that we did not see coming, completely random, out of the blue. Thrillipede showed up. This is not a false alarm.
This is not a drill, folks.
This is not a drill. This is legit. Thrillipede showed up in a single package at Target in the North American packaging. So if you don't know, overseas has like a couple of different divots in the little hoop they put on the hook, because I guess they usually use different hooks or something. I don't really know. So it's definitely the U.S. packaging, so it wasn't like some guy imported it and put it on the hook. Don't forget, it did go on sale at Toys R Us online. So it was a handful of people who got it like the one day it was up. It was not up for very, very long. I didn't pre-order it because again I was like, well, I was gonna pick it up in store, but lo and behold, here we are. So yeah, interesting to see. It was just the one. I don't think there's any other on the shelf. So I'm somewhat skeptical. It was tweeted to Matt, as far as I remember.
Yes.
So if it was like tweeted to like you and me, and like I'd feel like it's somewhat more like someone pulling a prank.
Right.
I don't think few of Matt's followers are into the whole joke of it all. Because
Matt's a serious dude. Matt doesn't play games.
Yeah, and I don't think the person that followed either you, me, or Skylanders Acquired. I think it was just Matt.
Yeah.
So I because like theoretically I could see somebody taking the one that they ordered from Toys R Us, putting on taking it to the store, hanging up, taking a picture. Right. That's a funny gag. So I'm somewhat skeptical, but on the flip side, like not completely. But I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
It is North American packaging. Matt hasn't been able to get like any sort of other confirmation about it, but he thinks it's very unlikely that it was like a return, an accidental return from the Thrillipedes that did get shipped out a while ago from that random Toys R Us order. But we do know that there are some in the States because people did get some from that random moment that they were available to order from Toys R Us. So he thinks it's very, very possible that one or some got slipped into a box and the employees just put them on the shelf. Who knows? It's a very weird situation. None have shown up anywhere else. I now have a reason to check Targets on a regular basis again, and that's a weird feeling because like I don't even look at the Imagineers anymore. I'm just like Thrillipeed. Nope. Okay. But yeah, man, it like you said, it doesn't feel like it's just a joke or a gag,
Yeah.
I just wish there was like one more, like it wasn't just that one.
Right. If there was two, I'd be more, but like just the one feels very odd. But again, it very well could have just been packaged in with other things by accident. We've seen stranger things.
Right.
So, who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited of the possibility. But like, who would have thunk that we'd even be talking about a possibility of Thrillipedes showing up on store shelves at this point in the game?
It's in like part of me hopes it's legitimate too.
Yeah.
That like they're legitimately just like finally decided like, you know what, let's send some of these things out, and actually did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like think of how many like possibly have been purchased, like if that's the case, from people that have like no idea that like it never showed up in the first place.
Right.
Around Christmas time and everything like that, when people are just buying anything they can to give to their kids and such. Who knows? Who knows how many else were out there, And
it's funny too, like with Buzzwing, because I still fall for it all the time.
Me too.
Like I'll see Buzzwing, I'm like, oh, that's it. Like, oh crap, it was the figure, Like,
I see the green, and I get so excited. I'm like, well, if there's Buzzwings, that means there's Thrillipedes around somewhere too.
Because I stopped doing like my unboxing videos. But I've yet still to open Buzzwing, so I feel like I haven't gotten Buzzwing yet.
Right.
And that's why I keep forgetting. Like when I see, I'm like, oh, I don't have that. Wait, no, I do, because I haven't opened it yet. But it's just like, oh man, like same thing. Like if I ever see that in the store, legit, cops are gonna get called because I'm gonna lose my freaking mind.
You just sit there on the floor and just open it up.
I'll tell you this right now. If I go up and it scans and it's like register locked, I'm freaking running. I'm running. Can't catch me now.
It would be worth it. You'd get away.
Dude, I would slip so much money. Like don't ask questions. I need this for my mental sanity.
I will pay you for the figure and anything else that you ask for.
like look at him, stare him in the soul. Like, I need this. I was like, okay.
I don't want to steal it. I just need this.
It's like Roswell, because of like obviously with some heightened security, like to be blunt about it, New Year's Eve, Times Square, and the Rose Bowl are the two highest potential targets this past weekend.
Yeah.
For stuff, and not that there's any credible things, just logically.
Sure.
So I was like, I knew they were gonna be pretty strict with some stuff, so I took like some of my camera stuff, just because again, you know, it's just I'm just not worth the team again. Argument with, just causing issues.
Not worth the extra hassle.
Right. But like I needed to take my cell phone extended battery with me because obviously with the parade and everything, I was like, I need that. Plus I'm probably taking a bunch of stuff to the Rose Bowl. Plus, you know, reception's probably going to be hard to get because so many people, which drains the battery quicker. And then obviously walking back to the hotel, I don't want to lose reception because it'll lose mom and dad and 100,000 people are there. And I was like, I need to take it.
Sure.
And so like I charged my phone before we got there, like on the way to walk there, just so it's charged in case they took it. Because it's not really excluded, but it's like legit, probably 80% of the population don't even know those are things yet.
Right.
And it looks shady to somebody who's just doing, you know, some quick training. Like, what the frick is that thing? You know, especially in have the case of it. So like I went there, so super nervous about it. But it is, if I had to throw it away, it is what it is. You know, I'll just do the best I could. But like I went up and picked a line with a kid who I could tell was a nerd.
Yeah,
would know what it is. You know, and so I went up and I put everything in a bucket because I didn't want to put it in mom's bag because if it looks in mom's clear bag, it looks even more shady than just me like openly putting it in the
look. I have this.
Yeah, I have it. And like I put it down, and the guy's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's extended back." And I was like, "Really?" He picked it up. I was like, "Look, like because I have it like a little mesh bag kind of thing that comes with, and like I'll open it for you, like you know, blah blah blah. Like, I don't want you to feel like you know scared opening, like I'm being completely open and honest with you." He's like, "No, that's fine. I think I know what it is. I have one of these." And I'm like, "I bet you do." You know. He's like, "Oh," I was like, "They're like a Lightseeker." He's like, "Yeah, I don't know how to live without it," and just went through. I'm like, "Whoo!" You know, like nice. No problem, Bob.
He plays Pokemon Go too.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I should have said it that way. I should be like, gotta get my Pokemon addiction.
You know what that does to the battery life. Goodness gracious. Lego Dimensions, shall we?
Yeah.
Lego Dimensions is sponsored by our friend Christopher Long from Long's Toys. You can find him on Twitter at CLong83. You can find him on YouTube, youtube.com/user/Long's Toys. He did a cool video of some the Batman minifigs. He put that on our Facebook page. So
yeah, no, I watched I think it's on episode 3.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I will say I will tease this now. I'm hoping they show up at Target while Amy is home. Because I already ran it with Amy. I have a funny scripted video I want to make.
Nice.
If I can find them at Target or Toys R Us, so I'm hoping I find them this weekend still while she's home.
Sure.
When she heads back. But I can't wait to get my hands on those things.
Val and I saw him at Target last weekend, and there was a girl that had found them, and she was sitting on the floor,
filling
them up and everything. And Val's like, "Ooh, you want to get some?" I'm like, "I do, but I've gone this far without collecting the minifigs, and 100% Batman will get it started.
100%.
I will want the entire set, and then it's downhill from there." So they look good, so good though.
Yeah, they're starting to get really good with their minifigure line. Like before, I felt like kind of like it was like stuff like, "Hey, this would be fun. We don't like make this figure another set. It'd be fun to release," which is still the ones I appreciate the most.
Sure,
but they're starting to get like the last 3 sets. I mean, obviously it was Disney, and
right.
You know, it's kind of fair to compare with that. But like, there haven't been one where I was like, if I open it, I'm like, "Oh crap, I got blank." Yeah. You know, every single one's like, "Oh sweet, I got this." So
I mean, they have Batman in a rubber duck floaty ring.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Just shut it down. Lego Dimensions. Let's talk about Lego Dimensions, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. What do we got?
Yeah, so Lego Dimensions, obviously we got Wave 7.5 launching February 10th. So it'll be coming up very, very soon. That is the, speaking of which, look at that segue, Lego Batman Story Pack. Will be coming, as well as the Batman Fun Pack that's exclusive to Target. That is the I forget the official term is Excalibur. That's what it is. Batman. Which let me read the rebuilds for this sucker. Did you read this thing?
Oh yeah, you had me at Raptor.
Oh my gosh. So join Excalibur Batman from the Lego Batman movie in an epic quest to save the Lego Dimensions multiverse. Simply attach the minifigure to his Lego toy tag and place him on the Lego toy pad. Wait, what? Oh, toy tag, toy pad. Jeez Louise. Then bring him to life in a game, and then activate his special ability to solve puzzles and battle enemies. Add the Bionic Steel, and then rebuild it into the Bat Raptor and Ultra Bat, and enhance your gameplay. I can't wait to see where the crap those things are. Yeah, so that'll be coming out, and then also Knight Rider becoming exclusively at GameStop. Again, all timed, exclusive for those 2 items. And finally, if you haven't picked up Marceline, or if you're waiting to not get that Toys R Us, is available everywhere starting that date as well.
Yeah.
So calendar. So again, as always, just like the Disney Infinity thing, which is kind of fun to carry this promotion over that. Go watch the movie, go out and buy the stuff.
Yep.
So excited for that. And so in addition to that, speaking of the Batman Fun Pack at Target, the cards did show up. The pre-order cards. They took forever to pre-order online at Target, which is like super weird after they were like over antsy to publishing all the Skylander stuff.
Right.
You know,
right.
and I'm like, I don't know when it went up. I just randomly checked. I checked like every couple of days, and I was like, oh, I haven't checked in a while. And I was like, oh, there it is. It's like, I don't know why it took them so long. I don't know if they're waiting for the card to be done to do it online and in store at the same time. Who knows?
Yeah.
It seems like too much Target carrying too much for it to be the case. But so the cards are in store, and there's always has to be something that can find from something like that. So we did get one interesting piece of information. The pre-order card says it is exclusively at Target from February 10th until Tuesday, March 21st. March 21st is a Tuesday. So logically, you would think that they might be moving back to their Tuesday releases for Wave 8.
Mm-hmm.
So one could conclude we knew there was a wave coming in March. So logically, you would assume March 21st is probably the day. Obviously, it says until. So you would think... I mean, you could think that because like coupon sometimes like the 21st includes that day.
Right.
So so 26th is a Wednesday. There's no way they're releasing crap on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think 21st is pretty much a lock at this point. But
yeah. Totally makes sense.
Again,
there's not a story pack that coincides with the movie coming out, so why not?
Movie packs.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see on that. But again, Wave 8, it's expected to be the Lego City Undercover Fun Pack. Chase McCain, as well as the Goonies level pack with Sloth. So that is a combined wave of 7.5. So the 2 smaller waves are supposed to be combined together because they wanted to release something in March. I think in the initial interview they said they want to do something in February, which was like, well, no duh, that's when the movie comes out. I think he meant March. Right. So I think they want to split it up just so they don't have as big as this stuff. Because we said before, at least something once a month is great. So they've been doing every other month, which is fine. Once a month is the Disney Infinity Way, which we appreciated.
Yep.
So we'll see. But again, exciting stuff to come.
Definitely.
And then finally, we did get some potential information from thebrickfan.com, one of their readers, a guy on Twitter who claimed he was the one because they kind of just gave his first name, and then on Twitter he's like, "That's me." So I don't know if the Brick Fan was trying to protect him per se, but. That in mind, one of the updates, and they had a file called like DLC characters.txt. So I don't really know. But so it was talking about upcoming DLC characters. Again, it's all information we kind of knew. Nothing, too earth shattering in it. So it's again one of those things that, it could be fake, but if it's not, who cares? Because there's nothing like crazy in there. But some stuff in there again, Chase McCain Fun Pack, which was all but confirmed before. So people thought it was going to be a level pack, but again, all the level packs have been kind of new properties for him so far. So what the heck was that?
Sorry, my watch.
No.
I didn't think it made that noise.
Are you getting pulled over? Are we driving? Are we going the road?
We're going too fast, Jason.
Holy
cow. Whoa. What's going on? It's never done that before. I have no idea what's happening.
I'm so tired. This is so funny. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Yeah, that in mind though. So Chase McCain Fun Pack, again, especially with Lego City Undercover coming back, and then in addition to that, we're getting Team Pack for Teen Titans Go. Looking like that with Beast Boy and Raven. So the Star Girl. I'm not up in my Teen Titans Go characters. What is?
Sorry, I think my watch is trying to dial 911. So. I'm gonna disable that feature.
Starfire. Starfire.
Yeah.
So no word on that. It seems like that would be a fun pack. They have to release her because what we already knew, like Robin, the Lego Batman Robin is probably gonna be reskinned in the story pack. We already heard Cyborg's gonna be reskinned. So it'd be weird to have like all but one. You know.
Right.
So logically, you would assume Starfire is just gonna be some kind of fun pack. And in addition to that, we also got word of a Lord Vortek fun pack that potentially will be coming. One interesting point of that: what the heck would his vehicle or item be? I have no idea. Which I think is why, which we talked about before, initially they plan to make it a promotional poly bag at some point for something or other, because then it can avoid having to include a vehicle. If they choose to go a fun pack route now, we'll get something. I just hope that they make a see-through piece. I don't know if they've made a see-through LEGO Dimensions figure before. I don't think they have.
No.
But that'd be freaking fantastic. I mean, they have see-through Legos, so it wouldn't be anything, crazy and impossible. But that'd be one heck of a way to sell. I mean, any Lego fan would want to get that just because it'd be a unique item.
Absolutely.
So there's a quiz for somebody. Somebody know of a see-through Lego figure, minifigure, or even just a head, see-through head. Tweet me and let me know.
It'd be so cool.
Yeah, so I hope the case.
I'm sorry for completely derailing that entire segment.
I don't want to get swatted, so it's okay.
I got we got Apple Watches this weekend.
Sure.
So I'm like 75% up to speed on what everything does and what buttons do and how to operate things, but clearly there's some things that I need to read up on, and that was one of them. So my apologies.
That's fair.
If you hear sirens and knock at the door, you know why.
Dude, if I hear like get on the ground, I'm gonna be busting up laughing. I'm going on Periscope real quick.
Best podcast ever. Who would have thought our downfall would have been an Apple Watch?
Time to use that Toyji Games bail fund.
Oh man, you didn't touch it all year, so yeah, it's about time.
I think I should deserve an award for that.
I think so. We have an award show. I think you deserve one for not being arrested at any point during 2016.
Also, I have to say, Matt might be mad at me for saying this, because again, who cares? I was bummed last year, openly, that I didn't get any Wii questions about Skylanders. He didn't get not one, but two.
Yeah.
In December.
Sure. People
asking why isn't Skylanders out on the Wii, or how do you make it work for the Wii?
Right.
But I'm like, man, we're almost to the 2 consoles later.
People still care about the Wii, man.
Tell you what.
People just don't want to upgrade.
I really want to know how much like Just Dance sold. I really want to know. I'm gonna go ask GameStop girl. I'm like, can you tell me please how many numbers actually sold?
Rough numbers.
Just how many of you physically sold?
Yeah.
Of that. Which I will say, speaking of that real quick, we'll get to the Amiibo section actually. Let's talk about the Switch.
Sure. Let's talk about Amiibo.
Let's do it.
Amiibo is sponsored by our friend Michael O'Driscoll. You can find him on Twitter at Amiibo_museum. I think I'm still supposed to promote his, I'm assuming, still fiance. Michael, please correct me if something bad happened over the holiday break, or
talk to him today. Still go.
Okay.
Still happening.
Perfect. All right. They didn't get married over Christmas or anything like that?
They did not.
Okay. So his still fiance, Anya, Ania, she has an album. She is a singer. You can find her album on iTunes. The album name is And the Light Comes In. It is on Spotify. You can listen to it. You can check it out. See if you like it. See if it's your cup of tea. If so, you can support her and her career by picking it up on iTunes. And Michael O'Driscoll, he's a friend of the show. Definitely, worth at least checking out his fiance's work. See if you like it. And help him out if it's something that you like. So, Michael O'Driscoll, Amiibo_museum. We have too many museums on this show. That's the problem. at amiibo_museum. Fiance's name is Anya, Ania. Her album is And the Light Comes In. Jason, what is going on with Amiibo? Also, I'm sorry, I'm flustered. I'm thinking about the fact that I just tried to call 911 for my watch. It's a scary future we live in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have since disabled it, so we should be good.
Because there's like time, isn't it like, didn't it used to be like a default like speed dial on phones too?
Yeah.
Like if you held down like 1.
Yep.
It's like there's different times like on my keypad, like my phone digital one, like I'm just can't figure out if I push the button hard enough.
Right.
And like hold it down, like what? Why is that a thing? You know. Jeez Louise.
Just asking for trouble.
Did you ever see that article? I think we talked about it before about that. No, maybe we didn't. About the 911 operator who hung up on people.
That sounds really familiar.
They yeah, I didn't read it. There's an article here. Let me see. Yeah, CNN article again. I'm just reading October 19th things. I don't know the updates on them. After hanging up mid-sentence on a caller, a Houston 911 call center operator was heard on a recording saying, "Ain't nobody got time for this, for real," according to charging documents. That call center operator, identified as person's name, was arrested and charged after allegedly hanging up on what could be thousands of emergency callers, according to documents. Like, how do you get away?
Wow. Yeah.
With thousands of them.
Yeah.
I feel like after 2, they would notice.
Because they everything's logged on who picks up the calls at what time, like to the second, who they came in through. So if you would think if the people got hung up on, that they were probably calling back immediately. If not, there'd be thousands of people just dead. And so then it's like, all it would take is somebody saying, "Hey, somebody just hung up on me. That's weird,"
Yeah, but yeah, so unsung heroes, 911 call operators. I will not be able to do that job.
No, that's a tough job.
Up there, unique jobs I will not be able to do. This is one I always think about. People who mow the median on a highway, like a 65 mile per hour highway, to people who, like, drive the thing. I'd be afraid like I hit a divot and accidentally, like, steer to the right into the traffic.
Yep.
Would not be able to do it. Not be able to do it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Amiibo.
Yeah, so Amiibo this week. A couple of minor details, but things definitely want to pass along to you. The Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World packaging has been revealed. So if you've been one of the packaging people who would like to join, like me, who like seeing the retail boxes, the finalized packaging for all that fun jazz, it's coming out soon. Is that February, March? February
10th, I believe.
I was saying the same day as LEGO Dimensions.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's coming soon. Again, coming for the 3DS, but they did announce that the Wii U version will be getting updated as well. So if you get the Poochie Amiibo, don't worry, Nintendo's got your back. Then in addition to that, for more box art, the Zelda Breath of the Wild Amiibo. The box art for the other characters, we already saw the one for the Guardian, the big spider-looking thing. We already saw that packaging, but now we saw the other packaging as well. So again, if you want to check out that, and the big old red Nintendo logo, which I'm excited. I'm excited for the red. Really liking the red.
Well, also, the Link that's on the horse looks like it has much longer hair than the Archer Link, the one with the hood on. So I think that's one more sign to point to. There's a possibility we get to play as a female Link.
Yeah,
so, I like it.
I've been very. I don't know if I'm vocal. I'm not a huge Zelda fan. Not in saying the sense of like I don't like the Zelda. I just never got into them like other people have. Sure. I appreciate them and I play them all. Yeah. Just not like crazy into them per se. But like I think I'm gonna get to go first. The Twilight Princess one. But I had fun with the Wii controls for that game. Okay. I had a blast.
Yeah.
As far as the gameplay itself is what it is, but like actually like the fishing and everything with it, I had a good time.
Yeah, it was good. Did you play Skyward Sword then on the Wii?
No, I don't think I got around to playing that one. I think I just played.
That was full on motion controls.
Yeah, I don't think. I always figured what's the cover.
That was the one with the giant birds that you could fly on. I don't think it had fishing,
no.
So
I bought it, but I don't think I ever played it.
Okay.
I think I bought it. I bought the gold controller. I wanted for the gold controller.
Did. Yep.
And I don't think I ever played it.
I walked in. I was expecting to just walk in and just pick up the gold controller. on launch day thinking, why would you ever pre-order a controller? And they were sold out. They had been sold out for hours. And I was like, are you kidding me? Never got that gold controller. Sad stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm excited for the game. For that, it'll be a good time. But yeah, so both those Amiibo things are out there. So we're getting close to having Amiibo release dates again. Breath of the Wild again, looking in March, April. So we'll see. We're hearing from some places that will absolutely be a launch title, so you would assume the Amiibo will be coming out the same day. Some places are saying it's going to be in April. It could be different territories, different times. I feel like it's got to be a launch title. I feel like Nintendo will be putting everything they possibly can,
unless they push it to the fall. Have a big strong fall. You launch with Mario, push Zelda to the fall. I mean, they've pushed it enough. I agree. I want Zelda day one, but
I think they would pay like quadruple overtime to make sure it gets done.
Yeah,
like I think they're investing a bunch into it. Like,
I mean, the reports are the game's pretty much done. It's just the localizing. So
yeah, I mean, all the stuff that we've seen, like you would see how it could not be about done.
Right.
But who knows? But yeah, and then finally, for Nintendo fans, and again, we'll see if we get any Amiibo support there. The Switch Direct, as a reminder, is next Thursday, so not the day after recording this. So not the day you might be listening to this on the 5th, but the following Thursday, the 12th.
Yep.
Again, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, over in Europe. Google time zone conversions.
I think doesn't it work out to be like early morning in Japan?
It's like, well, yeah, because it's like 5 a.m. I think UK time.
Okay.
So it's probably like midday Japan.
Right. I think that's why they have the times the way they are.
Yeah. Because again, it's in Japan. The event's in Japan.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm curious to see how it happens. Like, are we just gonna have like the UN person like speaking over it? Because that's gonna get obnoxious real quick. Or is it like, are we just going to get a localized version? I bet
we're going to have a localized version of it. I think they just want to all launch it simultaneously, so not one region is getting information before another.
Right. Yeah.
Like Japan is obviously, their home base, their HQ, and that's what they want to pay most attention to. But they know full well, like, their biggest market is the U.S., and I don't think they're going to shortchange us over here as far as the presentation is concerned. They don't want Japan to have it and then us wake up in the middle of the night to news of what it is and then still expect to watch it the next day. Like, they just want to do it all at one time.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I really hope they show off some Wii stuff, some Amiibo stuff. Like,
yeah, we talked about it in like the limited edition. But I'm curious to see what would happen with it. I don't expect them like revealing maybe stuff. Maybe again, some new mark or stuff. Maybe there are now some new characters or something from that I could see potentially. If something's coming out at launch. But
I mean, the biggest question is what kind of support will it have?
Right.
Like, is it going to be an extra peripheral that you're going to have to buy, like a 3DS, and just kind of make it work with it, or is it built into the system? We got a tease with that first trailer, like we saw some Amiibo sitting, on the entertainment stand. Were those just for decoration? Were those a tease, like Amiibo's going to go over to the Switch? We don't know. I think if it's a big part, or at least a major component of the Switch, they are going to show off how it works, how it will work in the games that they're announcing. If it's just like you need to buy this little thing and you could connect through Bluetooth and you could bring in some characters if you really want to, type of thing, like, they're probably not even going to talk about Amiibo at all.
Yeah. What are you hoping for?
I am hoping that dog face controller, that the Joy-Con slide into.
Can't unsee it now.
Right. How it has that big square with the Switch logo and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that pad is an Amiibo scanner. It's either a touchpad, so you could use like a cursor, sure. like the PS4 has like the touchpad on their controller.
Yep.
And or an Amiibo scanner, because you never like necessarily need Amiibo to be sitting there like a Skylander or LEGO Dimensions like has to be on a pad the entire time. Like, you usually just scan them in, the game registers that you just scanned it in, and you go about your day. You put your amiibo aside. So to have it on your controller, especially if this is supposed to be a mobile thing, you just tap it and it registers, and you go on doing whatever you're doing with it. That's what I hope. I'm definitely afraid that it's just going to be something that you have to buy that's going to connect through Bluetooth, like that little station that you could get for the 3DS, I'm really afraid it's going to be something like that, but I want it to be slick. I want it to be built in, something that doesn't, no extra things,
Sure.
So,
to be honest, I want the opposite. I wouldn't mind if it's in the controller, and I don't think it'd be a bad thing. I think they could do it both ways too.
That's true. Yeah.
Do make it preferable, because the same thing. Like, I would appreciate if it was just a standard thing, a wireless thing, even. Just sit there and I can just keep it on the stand. Because again, it could open it up to more Toys of Life aspect to it.
Sure. Yeah.
I hope it's not built into the system itself. Because I don't want them to have to try and like make the how does it work for mobile kind of a thing.
Sure.
I mean, just disregard, like, it's one of those, like, like Skylanders, like that Disney Infinity on mobile stuff. Like, if you want to try and do it that way, be my guest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's weird because, like, when it comes down to it, like Toys to Life, like you said, like Skylanders, they tried, but Toys to Life genre isn't really built to be a portable thing.
Right.
Especially not a lot. So I don't know how that fits into the Switch.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think if we don't hear anything on Thursday, then it's a bad sign for Amiibo going forward, as far as how much they care and how much they're putting into continuing the Amiibo line.
Sure.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday, man. It's gonna be a long day.
It is.
That's why I can't wait. That's what I'm so excited for.
Yeah.
Because I'm excited for me just gonna get home, do everything I need to do, just sit back and relax. I mean, if it turns into a giant trash fire, then it's gonna suck trying to go to bed after it. But
yeah. Well, hopefully I'll have Pinata to keep me company all day.
Yeah. And what I appreciate about the way, like, I've been very critical of how they've been handling this and doing the things, but I'm actually enjoying how they've been slowly unveiling this thing at this point.
Yeah.
Because I think they're tapering expectations, and I mean that in a good way.
Yes, absolutely.
That they're being this, and like even some of the leaks, I'm sure, are intentional. Some stuff that's coming out because they're trying to like keep people's expectations in check. I mean, if you're expecting this to be a PS4, Xbox One competitor, you're gonna be sorely disappointed.
Nope, this is a different thing.
Yeah, so I'm appreciated that much, so that we're not going into it completely blind and being like, because it's nice because like beforehand, people weren't getting that hype with as far as like the initial announcement thing because nobody really knew what to expect. I mean, we knew it was some kind of portable hybrid thing, but
that Jimmy Fallon thing that they did was so genius.
Perfect.
Yeah, it kept people talking and interested about it without revealing anything new about it, and still kept to their promise of, hey, we're still going to talk about this in January. Like, this is just a reminder that it's coming,
Yeah.
And Jimmy was so excited. Like, it was so perfect.
And I think it hit their audience they want to get back to. Not the core gamer and not the kids.
No.
Just the people who just want to have something to be fun to play, fun to have around, use different times, just a fun entertainment device.
Yep.
So.
Hey, remember when you used to have fun playing the Nintendo? You're going to again soon.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's move on to kind of a roundup of other things we'd like to talk about here on the podcast. This segment will be sponsored by our friend Evan Parker, the Lone Goldfish. You can go find him and his broadcasting on Twitch over at twitch.tv/the Lone Goldfish. So apparently he's getting interested in taking a Disney vacation, from what it sounds like. He's enlisting the help of resident Disney expert Brett, of course. So I'm curious to see if he hasn't decided whether he wants to go to Florida or Anaheim yet. But yeah, we'll keep him posted on Evan's Disney journey That is, if he wants us to.
Yes. Please.
Yeah. Lone Goldfish, twitch.tv/the Lone Goldfish. You played Beasts of Balance.
I did.
Finally.
1 round.
Like the full, complete version of the game.
Yep.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so it was good. So I only got to play 1 round of it, but it was kind of nice. It was Amy knew a little bit about it because I've talked to her about it, but like the rest of her family, completely blind.
Right.
So they didn't know anything about it. They didn't understand. I told them it was like a stacking game, and I said like using an iPad, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And you stack things on the iPad, like, no, I bring this, and they're like, oh, look at this and this, and they're trying to figure out like who the animals were and stuff like that, and so I was like, it's the easiest way to describe it is like it's reverse Jenga, kind of a thing, which I know they've used that terms before, but yeah, it was enjoyable. They had a good time. We were in the middle of like a board game night, so we played 1 round, moved on to a different game, played 1 round of that, moved to something else, but it was fun. Amy said she really enjoyed it. It wasn't an impressive score, but I think we got all but maybe like 1 of the animals on.
Oh wow, okay.
Maybe 2 of the animals.
Sure.
Got like 4 of the. I always forget the technical terms. I just call them the energy cubes.
Artifacts.
There you go.
Yep.
So we got those on. Didn't really get to the point where you had to like tap the iPad while putting stuff on.
Oh, you didn't use the special pieces then.
We only used like 1.
Okay.
It was like the joiner piece. But yeah,
no, I'm talking about like the orange and yellow ball, and then like the S-shaped piece.
No, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't touch
Okay,
those.
Those activate the distractions.
I thought it was when you hit a certain level.
Nope. Those activate the distractions.
Okay.
They also give you more points, so they're good to use, but they also make the game tougher.
Sure.
Yep.
So hopefully we play the game. I might take it over to my sister and brother's house this weekend because Michael's been wanting to play for a while.
Sure.
So I'm gonna take it over there, but yeah, super enjoying it. Again, everything about it super high quality.
Yeah.
As much crap people give Kickstarter projects, if I present this to you, you would never guess it's a Kickstarter project.
Yep.
Quality from top to bottom.
Yeah. I'm so happy with it. I sit there while I'm watching a movie or something, and I'm still practicing by myself. I'll pull it out and I'll pull out the iPad and just start playing games by myself in the middle of the night, practicing to get high scores. So. I also ordered that lion piece.
Did you finally get it?
Yeah, I ordered it. I felt incomplete, Jason.
I understand.
Yeah. So
they what was I gonna say? Are you using it on an iPad or using it on an iPhone?
iPad.
Okay.
It just looks so good.
Yeah, and that's the thing because like they have it on Android and also and stuff. I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice, and I can just it's always on my phone.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just don't think I would enjoy it as much on a smaller screen. Like, I'm glad they have it available.
Right.
I mean, obviously, it's nice to have the options, but I was like, I feel like you need to play on the big screen.
Yep. I have it downloaded on my phone, so like the rare circumstance, like I take it somewhere and I forget to bring the iPad, or the iPad, like battery runs out or whatever. Like I know I'll always have it on my phone as a backup, but like my iPad has pretty much just become my Beast of Balance playing device. So
sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of quick mobile gaming, this is not something we talk about, but just a global PSA. Do not, I repeat, do not buy the Mega Man ports that came out today on iOS or Android. Do not buy them.
Why?
They're absolute trash.
Oh.
You have to go watch the trailer for it.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, they announced it like last month with this trailer, and the trailer made the games look bad.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, maybe it's just a bad trailer. So like they came out, they're like $2.99 or a piece or something like that. Capcom disabled the comments on the video.
Oh no.
Too, which is always a good sign. But the frame rate is like worse than the NES. Like it's bad, and since the frame rates are so like bad on it, the touch controls are off because like Mega Man's all about like timing.
Oh yeah.
And you can't do it, and like apparently the touch controls are like they just like copy and paste the touch control framework and just pasted it on.
Nope.
So like they don't really respond well to it. It's like it's bad. It's bad.
That might be the worst game I've ever heard of trying to be a mobile game.
Right, because at first like, oh, that'd be fun, and I'm like, oh wait, no, that would not be fun actually.
No.
And like you also watch the trailer, it's the frame rate's so bad. Like the character is like smoother than like the frame moves. Like it looks like it's played at like half speed, but the character's at full speed. It's weird. Huh. So, anyways, I saw
are they intentionally trying to make it look like the old original versions by doing that, or
I think they're just bad ports. I think they just sent it out to somebody and somebody didn't know what they were doing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no problem, we can switch it over." And it's just like it's bad if you can just get the NES ROM and play it on your phone, and do it better than an official port.
That's a shame.
Like, why don't you just do that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the Mega Man collection that you get, like on the PS4 or Xbox One or Wii U, like it's beautiful. Like it's an amazing collection. So, sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze here. My allergies are kicking in. I'm calling 911 by accident. This is a mess of a show, Jason. Why do people listen to this garbage? Toyji, our friends at Toyji, who we had on the show several weeks back, they had launched their Kickstarter. They are 5 days away. They are running short of their goal as of now, hoping for them for a late push. I think they're only about 22% funded so far. They are at CES right now, which is super encouraging. Like, I hope that they can drum up some buzz there at the show and drive their Kickstarter up to being completed. I know a few people in our community specifically are excited about it, would like it because they have young children. Like, this is specifically built for the younger audience. So, like, for the people in our community that are excited about it, I think it's safe to say that we definitely want to see this get funded. So if you've been on the fence, if it's something that you're at least interested in, go over to the Kickstarter page, see what you could do to help, even if you're not ordering, like one of the starter packs or anything like that. Any little bit helps. This is crunch time for them, so just want to give them a shout out, since the next time we'll be recording, their Kickstarter will be done. So one final plea from us to you guys, the community out there, to push them forward and see if they can get funded. So,
indeed.
Let's talk about a little thing called PlayTable.
Do it. Also, side note, you're getting stuffed up bad, man.
I know. I'm dying. I'm going to let you explain PlayTable real quick. I'm going to go blow my nose. You talk about PlayTable. This will be good podcast, I promise. I sound like a hot mess right now, so.
Sure. Can I bust out Jason's NPR voice again? Welcome all to Jason's Corner. Today we're going to talk about PlayTable. No. Anyways, but seriously, PlayTable is this interesting idea. It's coming out available soon on Kickstarter. They'll be launching, I believe they're going... actually, I take that back. I don't know if they are doing Kickstarter or not. But they are doing a visual board game kind of concept. So it's basically like a giant touchscreen device. You can pre-order or reserve your limited edition version of it, coming in ash wood, cherry wood, or brushed aluminum. You can reserve it for $99. You'll secure the early price of $349. So you're not getting it for $99, but we'll get applied there. So basically, we're trying to get some cash flow in to help there. Get their money on there. You can get that $99 fully refunded if it doesn't officially make a market or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But it's a pretty cool device there. It's targeted as a board game touchscreen device, so you get to play board games on a touchscreen, but it's big enough to make it feel like it's the actual board game. So you get to have cool animations, be able to play, have all your tokens there. It's just a little bit neater kind of thing versus pulling out a box and unboxing it all. It's all there.
Right.
Obviously, flip things around, no more loose pieces, things like that. So interested in that. But the reason we're talking about is Toys Life centric of it on this podcast is that they do have NFC built into the device. Not just one tag, but multiple all over the device. So they've showed it with Disney Infinity and Amiibo figures specifically in this mode that they're temporarily calling. I don't know if they can continue with it or not, but it's called like Toy Box Tournament. Toy Box. No, it's not tournament.
Toy Box Rumble?
No, it starts with a T. But yeah, so basically it allows you to put the Disney Infinity and Amiibo figures that are out there currently, put them in against each other. It's making like a giant fighting kind of a game. But you put them in the spot, Toy Box Stadium.
There we go. That sounds right.
So they show a video of like Mulan and Charizard and Bowser and Stitch. So you just put it in the circle and then you move it up when you want to attack, and there's like different animations below it. So it's kind of like a turn-based strategy game per se.
Mm-hmm.
But super interesting. But it's super interesting idea. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. It's super nice. Again, it's a kind of thing to give your Toys Life characters life even after Disney Infinity is canceled.
Right.
Give your Amiibo characters actually something to do.
Yeah. So as far as we know, they don't have any license to actually like implement like in-game characters of any of these figures. The figures just act as generic play pieces. But like it is cool, kind of fun to see Pikachu and Stitch on the same team fighting Charizard and Mulan, like fun combos that you would not get anywhere else because of licensing deals seem possible with stuff like this.
Yeah. It's funny because they even had like I think it was one of the songs for like Smash Brothers or one of the Pokemon games, like in the background. I'm like, that's not hitting final release. And I'm curious, like how much they can do, like what's all on fair rights kind of a thing.
Right.
Like if you tap it, are they allowed to say what it is? Like I'm curious what the possibility. And again, even if it's just like a tech demo idea, still interesting. Even if they want to produce their own line, or do like the what people do like with the emulator kind of stuff now, like. Hey, we're just providing the technology just to do whatever, we can't help that people are using it to play ROMs, so they can make this framework and it's up to the community to make stuff or something like that. I'm curious to see what it all is.
Sure.
The Disney Infinity side of it all, Disney's obviously known to be stingy with some stuff, not as bad as Nintendo seemed to be in the last year. So, who knows?
Sure. But like something like this, like again, with physical figures represented in a digital form below you immediately like that, like first thing that came to mind was like Wizard Chess from Harry Potter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you move the pieces, but then you see them on the board, like actually battling it out. Like, how cool would that be?
Yeah. Yeah. So they do have some videos on YouTube. Check it out. I think they even have some stuff on their main website. Should get at the beginning of playtable.xyz. If you want to check it out. Again, early bird price is $349. That's included the $99 reservation, so pay $99 now. You just pay the remaining $349 when it goes launch. Public launch price is currently they're looking at $599 is what they're targeting at.
Sure.
So it's a big device. Again, playing board game. To get into some of the other stuff. Let me find.
And they seem to be actively searching out licenses and properties that they could use.
So
legally and officially.
Yeah. Says PlayTable comes preloaded with all the classic board games, classic board and card games. Free board games include chess, checkers, backgammon, Mahjong Go, and Reversi. So it's stuff that's like non-licensed stuff that they can easily do.
Right.
You also have all the playing card games, such as Texas Hold'em, Go Fish, Solitaire, Hearts, stuff like that. Again, it's not copyrighted or anything in the public domain. So they also have a board game construction kit that allows players to simulate their own environments for whatever they want to play. So the key feature that allows players to make their own games and upload them to the PlayTable store, so you can kind of make your own stuff as well. As far as our license title, we cannot officially reveal which games are licensed yet due to our licensing contracts. However, we have over 30 and counting. Of course, these must-have board games titles include stuff like Settlers Catan, Smash Up, Love Letters, Star Realms, Ticket to Ride, one of my favorite games.
Yep.
Avalon, Code Names. Haven't played it, but heard a lot of people love that game. So the disclaimer is to simply list of titles we are working on, are not guaranteed to be part of our launch library. We'll tell you we are able to officially announce our licensed titles. Keep an eye on our website, our webpage for updates. So again, it's a big deal that they're actually getting those contracts.
Yep, absolutely.
That's huge.
Yeah.
This isn't from that. It's not like this is them like, oh, we hope we're doing this and hope that they let us. Like it seems like they're saying we got the go ahead. Obviously, probably some other T's across and I's to dot, but yeah, again, it looks great. It looks like, do you remember the Surface Table from like 3 or 4 years ago?
Yes.
It's like that, but not so massive and obnoxious.
Right.
So again, it's interesting. They have the full specs there. It's an interesting idea. The one thing that's intriguing to me too is that it's going to work with like trading card games. Like they specifically talked about Magic.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't physically shown it, so I assume it's like just a Pokemon trading card game you have mobile, but you can just do it, physical on the thing. Like, there's no camera and there's no NFC tips in the card, so it's not like you can read it.
Right.
But it'd still be kind of fun to how to play. And it could just be an outline. Like, just put the cards down. It has the outline. We-put it for something like that. But even that idea is kind of interesting. So, again, it's one of those devices. Who knows what's going to happen with it. But definitely it's worth checking out. Again, playtable.xyz. It's Prism. Shoot.
Yep. Prism Shoots.
Prism Shoots. Prism Labs. PRIZM Labs.
Yeah.
Is their Twitter game. So twitter.com/PRIZMLABS. I wish I knew the guy's name, but one of the main people who's like in all the videos is always wearing a lab coat.
Uh-huh.
I think it's the funniest thing to me.
Yeah.
They do a tour of their office, and it's a pretty funny video. So to check that out as well.
Yeah.
But I hope that becomes a thing. It's always wearing that lab coat. It's just I don't know why, it's just funny to me.
So just for reference, this isn't something that we're going to be covering like on a weekly basis. This is just something that was fun, that came to our attention a few weeks ago. It's something that we'll talk about if there's reason for us to talk about more so. But it's just generally something to watch for in 2017. Like this is something that could give life to the Toys to Life genre. So yeah, one last thing I want to talk about here is our friends Lightseekers. They had a very interesting week, to say the least. Jason, what's going on with Lightseekers?
Yeah, so big thing happened over this weekend. I guess it happened on January 1st, right? Because I think it was a Sunday.
Think so, yeah.
So it's been on January 1st. We got, man, I just had it there who it was, too, because I want to give him credit, and I closed the tab.
Cinco. Cinco Credo?
Scrolling. If you tweeted me at all this weekend, I apologize. I have not gotten back to anybody. So it's coming, I promise. Doodles and Toys. Toys and Doodles. Doodles and Toys is the Twitter handle. Toys and Doodles is the Twitter name. So that gets confusing there, but credit to you. But tweeted, it's our first Lightseekers leak of 2017 from the Tommy 2017 toy catalog. So again, Tommy came out with the 2017 toy outlook. Had some pictures of some packaging we haven't seen before. Some new items like flight packs and weapons that we haven't seen, stuff for targeting from fall 2017. So it was interesting to see. I really like the packaging design. Looks great. Great.
Yeah.
It looked like that. Again, this is going to be up there like Beast and Bouncy said. It's not going to look like a Kickstarter project,
right,
which is what one of the best parts about it. So again, there was a little bit of misinformation on there, so I won't get into the full details of it because Lightseekers themselves they're diving into it and trying to correct some of it. So I don't even want to say pure specific of like dates or anything because I think some of it's incorrect information. So I don't want to share anything like that since they've already come out saying like, "Hey, don't freak out yet."
Right.
But yeah, so cool stuff like that. But the reason I want to talk about it is because again, this is a big deal. One, because obviously it's the first leak of 2017, the first Lightseekers leak, but we just never thought, they knew they were like in this project designs, different development and other stuff. Like we're not going to get like normal product stuff like from Amazon or Best Buy, at least from that, at least right now. I mean, it's going to be coming, hopefully, eventually come to retail stores. And so, there's like, how would something leak out? So my thought was always going to be something like published where it's actually something's in the background or their tour videos, something like that. Just a little slip up. But, I forgot. I didn't even think about the whole Tommy angle of it. So yeah, Tommy, if you don't know, Tommy is the producer of the toys for the physically manufacturers. They make a bunch of different toys out there. So there's just a toy outlook catalog, innocent enough. But he has some stuff there that Lightseekers hadn't gotten around to announcing yet. But again, what's interesting about this and where you want to know about it, and hopefully Lightseekers, if you're listening, know this meant more than you could possibly know to me, to the community, is how you deal with stuff like this.
Yep.
Again, I call them out publicly all the time. Lego has some weird lawyer stuff they deal with, and as with that, same with Disney Infinity. Sometimes they have to pull stuff because stuff that's like featured in the movie that has been announced. Stuff like that is what it is. But again, the way to deal with leaks is to PR spin it that you can control it.
Yep.
Not try to take something back off the internet because that's impossible.
Own it and make it yours.
Right. It's out there. You're never going to get as hot as it is at the time it comes out. So if it's coming out, just go with it.
Yeah.
So Disney Infinity, again, we talked about all the time. How many did that count? 9, 10 sis and sis I've gotten from them over the time.
Yeah.
It was annoying.
Too
Absolutely annoying. And Lightseekers like, hey, yep, crap. Stuff came out. We'll look at it. Sorry about the wrong information, but stay tuned. We'll have more information to come in. So I was like, okay, stay tuned. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to remember. Someone said something about Wednesday. And I forget if that was a tweet to us or I read somewhere if I was just imagining. But I knew it was coming today. I feel like someone said something. But again, it was great. Wednesday, come back to the office. People are going back to work after, a day or two off of work. Weekend, like, hey, some stuff came out. Some of you noticed it. But hey, let's talk about it. We're excited about it. Here's Wave 2. Yes, we're doing waves. This is coming in Wave 2 fall this year. But it's only a tidbit of stuff that's to come. So get it pumped. Right. So yeah, excited about that. Again, Lightseekers, just know, I don't know if it was a team decision or who it was in charge, like, hey, let's do it this way, but bravo. Yeah. It also remind me, need to talk about it with this way. This is how good Lightseekers is. Now let me find it. Oh man. Just had to. Why did I close these stupid tabs?
Well, the biggest thing is we got confirmation of shields being a thing. We didn't know anything about shields. We got some new flight packs, some new weapons, like some major things that like nobody had seen or heard of before.
Yeah. Mark Gerhard is who I want to talk about. One of the heads of the studio flat out tweeted out and made a joke about the leak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Fantastic. So again, take it for what it is. Stuff happens. So again,
honestly,
spin it the way you possibly can.
Leaks happen because people care. Like
right.
If nobody cared, a leak wouldn't be a leak. It would just be nothing. It would be information. But leaks are exciting because people are caring about what information exactly is being shared. And we will report on leaks. It's what we do. But only because the community is genuinely interested and excited. And we saw it. Like, we saw it on Twitter when it was happening. People were getting, excited and amped up about it. And, you could have just disappeared. You could have just said, oh, we're not going to reveal that until the summer, or that was a mistake. But, like, no, you're just like, okay, fine, let's talk about it. Let's do this. Kudos. Hats off.
Kudos.
Yep.
So, again, it's exciting information. Again, fall 2017 is a long way away, especially when the initial stuff hasn't come out. So, like, I understand why they don't want to talk about that yet, because they don't want to see like they're over-promising for things. So,
right.
But again, it's exciting. It's exciting to see that they're not launching and leaving. Like, they already have a bunch of stuff down the pipeline they're working on.
Yep.
So, exciting to see that. Also, the other thing I want to talk about, Lightseekers on it. The physical beta test is coming out soon. The boxes came in the studio. Did you see the video? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch the video, no.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Those figures look so good.
Yeah, I saw pictures of the figures.
Thank you for not making me destroy them, because they look so good. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. It's cool to see, like, this is how we felt with, like, Beast of Balance. Like, once it was funded and everything started moving in motion, like, we saw the progress of stuff being made in the factories, and, that whole journey, we were along for the ride with them. And I feel like Lightseekers is going that same route of, like, we are watching them, open boxes of figures in the office to show off and then send out to people who are beta testers. Like, this is cool behind the scenes stuff that we don't get from the bigger companies,
Right.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Good job, Lightseekers. Keep doing your thing. With that being said, let's move over to the community question, shall we?
Let's do it.
Community question. I offered up a mystery box that I will send to the winner. All you have to do is get a hold of me sometime after the show and send me your address, and you will get the mystery box that I will hand pick things, shove them in a box, send them your way. The community question this week, of course, it revolves around the new year, 2017. What is at the top of your wish list for the Toys to Life genre in 2017, and why? Got a lot of good answers, Jason.
We did.
A lot of predictable ones. You know, I knew there was going to be some things that were said, you know, no matter how I phrased it. But we got a lot of good answers. You want to run through them here?
Let's do it.
All right.
So we got Infinity Museum saying Activision to throw Skylanders a lifeline, go biannual, return to the roots, and make a Dragons-only Spyro-focused game, or team with Nintendo, go Switch exclusive, and make all Amiibo compatible.
Ooh.
Launch Toy says more 8-bit style Amiibo and more LEGO Dimensions. Simple enough.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Anderson for LEGO Dimensions to keep receiving new waves and Skylanders not to get canceled. DMU Girl 2008 says Disney and LEGO Dimensions since Infinity is gone. William Thorndyke says that Skylanders not be canceled. See, I saw 2 likes. I was like, I wonder if Skylanders themselves liked it.
Did they?
No. Will Hanvey says we definitely need a LEGO Dimensions like game for the Switch that uses all the Amiibo. Evan Park says the continued life of the genre. Brady James said I'd like to see some classic comics in the genre. Imagine a Calvin Hobbes or a Garfield pack in LEGO Dimensions. Garfield would be fun.
Yeah.
Grizzly Knox says Donkey Kong Country, so we can get an Amiibo for King K. King K ruled, the actual winner of the Smash vote. It's true. 50 Pan 3.0 for Disney Infinity to come back. Video Game Therapy says Monster Fighters in LEGO Dimensions. Seabass says the Legs Dimensions IP that they haven't announced for Season 2 yet. On top of that, things coming for Season 3. Toy Alex is for Infinite Arms to come out and become the #1 toy brand in the genre. Indeed. Alex, indeed.
Dream big, Alex. Dream big.
Blue Giant Kaiser says, for it to evolve in order to stay relevant. Billy GJ Dog says that Lightseekers is a huge success and bring new life into the space. Doodles and Toys says Lightseekers, man. Everything about the franchise has amazing potential. Also, more video game based LEGO Dimensions packs, please. 882 Lip says Rick and Morty in LEGO Dimensions because you got to get Swifty, excuse me. Jeff Grimes says more 80s and 90s franchises in LEGO Dimensions. Guadalupe says this is the year I buy the LEGO Dimensions starter pack. This is the year. Guadalupe.
What are you doing?
2016 was the year. Because I bought everything else without actually buying the game.
Wow.
You're the best, Guadalupe. I love you, bud. Christmas is a true Amiibo game that uses all of them in the playable characters with unique abilities, maybe an RPG. Urel Espinoza B says Star Wars and LEGO Dimensions and Pokemon Amiibo. Snowguard 77, it would be nice for Star Wars and Marvel to make its way to LEGO Dimensions. Love these 2 universes and more minifigs is good. Finally, Eric Trejo says for more Amiibo, I need that Bayonetta, Cloud, or excuse me, for me, it's Amiibo. I need that Bayonetta, Cloud, and Corn Amiibo, and hopefully more Amiibo as well. New Amiibo too.
A lot of good responses.
The
way we lean in here. What are you feeling? I mean, there's some outlandish ones, like Disney Infinity to come back. That's not happening.
Right.
There's some very realistic ones, like Star Wars and LEGO Dimensions, I think is a very real possibility. Or like the more 80s and 90s franchises in LEGO Dimensions. I think that's pretty much a given.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's some other good ones here. Which one struck your fancy specifically here, Jason?
You know what? Each week I take a different angle on it.
Okay.
Try to keep it fresh, try to keep people guessing. This angle, I think, because I agree, LEGO Dimensions is going to be king this year.
Yeah.
I think that's apparent.
Yeah.
Skylanders, who knows what's going to happen with it. Amiibo, again, up till next week. We don't know what's going to be happening with it till this year. LEGO Dimensions still has that 3-year plan. Seems to be doing well, even though sales might be down somewhat. They have the most space still to grab ahead of it. So I think they have the king. But again, every single time something happens, all Lightseekers needs to succeed is just some kind of store to pick it up, in my opinion. It just has to get that big push. So I think it goes on there. So I'm going to give it to Doodles and Toys because of twofold. One, I think Lightseekers, everything about it to be potential, and obviously more LEGO Dimensions packs, please. So I think it's a solid wish. And I think because also it deserves credit if he was the one that initially leaked the Tommy catalog, because I think you get credit for that.
Sure.
So I'm going to do twofold on that with Toys and Doodles. Because again, they're all great answers. And I'm not going to say anyone's wish is not a good wish.
Right.
Because they're all fantastic wishes.
Yes. And we encourage everybody to keep wishing.
Right. I think it's going down. And most of those, there's not too many out there that's like, that'll never happen. A lot of those, like, I could see that happen. It'll be great if that happens.
Right.
So.
I like it. So, Toys and Doodles, get a hold of me. I'll get you a mystery box sent your way. It'll be full of fun stuff. I promise you that. Thank you to everyone for sharing your 2017 wishes for the Toys to Life genre. It's always good to gauge kind of what the community is looking forward to and hoping for. With that being said, Jason, it's time for emails. We got some good emails this week, as we always do. You can email us, like I said, at any time, podcast@toysforgames.com. This one came in shortly after episode 100. This is a longer email, longer than most emails we usually read on the show, but it's for a friend of the show, and I can't say no to him because he might yell at me. This is from Hero TJ. Greetings, Josh and Jason. Congrats again on reaching 100 episodes. Also, hold on, I'm just going to say this. If you're expecting a Dark TJ voice out of me, it's not happening, okay? Matt peaked, and I don't think I could come close to doing what Matt did, so I'm not even going to try. Not even going to attempt it. I just embarrassed myself. Anyway, anyone can report the news, but it's your humor, opinions, and insight that really set the Toys for Games cast apart. Still, I find myself perplexed by a position you both seem to have reached consensus on regarding Amiibo not being Toys to Life figures. Now, I want to be clear that this is not intended to be a defense of Amiibo. I don't personally believe categorical inclusion in the Toys to Life genre to be an honor or exclusion to be an insult, but rather simply a product description. That said, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and as the princes of Toys to Life community, you have a responsibility to your loyal followers to guide us down the path of truth, in so far as small plastic collectibles are concerned. But never fret, your faithful knight, Hero TJ, is here to keep you honest. To deny Amiibo as Toys to Life figures is to ignore all reason, evidence, and common sense. What could be more accurately representative of the Toys to Life genre than a toy that comes to life? The very compelling argument could be made that Amiibo actually epitomized Toys to Life more so than any other. When you scan a Skylander, Infinity, or Dimensions figure, you unlock the use of an avatar. When you scan an Amiibo into Smash Bros., it comes to life. You could feed them, train them, influence their behavior, but you do not control them as they have a life of their own. Just as a pet can be conditioned, so it is with Amiibo. They can play alongside you as companions or oppose you as challenging rival. Where other Toys to Life figures require a human player, the Amiibo AI mimics human play. Amiibo grow according to training and change based on their experiences. You might say they have a life of their own. I also feel compelled to remind you that you, Jason and Josh, have been made into toys and very much brought to life by the power of Amiibo in my living room on my Wii U to compete in an epic tournament called Me vs. Me. A figure of me is cool, but a figure of me that I can put to work in Smash Bros. Is something more than a figure. Amiibo breathe life into the toy versions of me. Is being reductive of their true functionality a disservice to the community? While their compatibility may not appeal to either of you particular gaming habits, it doesn't diminish what they can do. One can certainly collect Skylanders and Infinity figures because of their appeal as collectibles without owning any of the games. People have been amassing LEGO for decades without any game tie-in. To a collector, Skylanders and Infinity figures have no functionality, but just because that particular collector doesn't harness the potential of his Skylander doesn't change what it is capable of unlocking. Now to say that Amiibo lack a dedicated Toys to Life game would be accurate. If the only function of Amiibo was to get coins and costumes, then I would completely understand your position. But when they enable a figure to join the battle in Smash, invite a villager to move into my animal-infested town, or summon the spirit of a legendary wolf to adventure at my side, is Toys to Life not the most fitting description? Shout out to Shopkins Inquirer. Who knew plastic food had such a healthy sense of humor? Much love and respect, Hero TJ.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a valid argument. Definitely is.
And all joking aside, I don't think anyone would ever say that either one of us have straight up said Amiibo are not part of Toys to Life. If they weren't part of Toys to Life, they definitely would not have inspired this podcast in the first place. Right?
We say they're in a different category because what we call Toys to Life is a different understanding, or it's the understanding that we've come to know with this. I mean, no different than like other people the media classifies Toys of Life as stuff like Beasts of Bounce, which isn't really Toys of Life,
right?
Or other things like that. You know, there's different things that, or like that Crayola thing. I'm like, not really Toys of Life at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely a valid argument. Definitely. How am I going to word this? I could definitely see that side of it, and I think we're just comparing it to stuff it is, you know, as far as a Toys of Life game.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fair distinction. Because you are bringing up, and again, like, I still think there's very many people who use the Smash side of it all.
Right.
But
not anymore. Well, and like, aside from the Smash, like, they're just, I mean, what do the Animal Crossing Amiibo do? You know, you're not training them, you're not feeding them, they don't have a life of their own. The Yarn Yoshis, you know, they're not living on their own AI. The Smash, like how they were able to be trained and they learned from experience and battling and all that stuff. Yes, 100%, they deserve the respect for what they did with that. But past that, I think is like where the Amiibo start to lose credibility as far as how much functionality they have. So
right.
I don't think we've ever added that caveat of, aside from the Smash Brothers line, then what do the other ones really add to the games that you use them for? You know, we still love Amiibo. Like, we make jokes about Amiibo all the time. Like, I was just tweeting last night about how because I'm putting together stuff for the Toys for Games Awards, and I was on the Nintendo page, and I was scrolling through the entire lineup of every Amiibo released. And when I got down to like waves like 3 and 4, I was just like, man, I miss that. I miss worrying and staying up all night thinking about when an Amiibo might be released because the dates weren't completely set. Like, do you remember like wave 2 of Amiibo? It was the most disastrous thing ever. Like, nobody even knows what happened. But like, I miss those days. Like, yes, it was hard to get them, but when you got them, you felt so good. Like, just like the people you met, like, there were so many negative things about it. Yes, I know that. We've covered this 1,000 times. But there was so much hype and so much excitement for collecting these things at one point. And I miss that. And no matter what Nintendo does going forward, we will never have that again with Amiibo. Not to the same level. They might, you know, rejuvenate them and bring them back and then put out, you know, small amounts and make them hard to get again and whatever. And we might go through the cycle again. But that initial magic that Amiibo had, that's the reason for this podcast. We are 101 episodes into this podcast because of Amiibo. And I will never, ever forget that. I love Amiibo. I have always loved Nintendo. I just don't do anything with my Amiibo. Maybe that's my gaming habits, but I also feel like a majority of our community feel the same way.
Yep. I put one in Smash.
Yeah.
And I think it was
Pikachu. Just to see what it did, right?
Right. The most I ever used it, to be honest, was in Hyrule Warriors. I think it's the most I ever used it.
Sure.
The daily tap for the extra coin things.
Yep.
And again, I did it like the first time you get the big bonus, and then like every other time after that you get like the crap. Like, okay, it's not worth my 30 seconds to go find them. You know.
Right.
But and again, like the costumes and stuff like that was all fun. But again, like you're getting to that point where, you know, starting to feel like, okay, well, this is stuff you could have added in already. Mm-hmm. You know. But again, that's the whole Toys Life argument at its core. You know, none of this is really needed for anything.
Exactly.
So, I mean, and again, to TJ's credit, the way it's used for training in Smash Brothers is one of the best ways from a pure principle standpoint of toys to life.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
I think that's valid as far as like,
absolutely,
you know, everything else. Like when you're playing Disney Infinity, you know, they could just release that as a game.
Sure.
You know,
yeah,
absolutely. And then
well, like even like LEGO Dimensions, like you could hire a hero, like you could literally pay some in-game currency to play as a figure that you don't have.
Right. But like there is something finite for if you liked the training of it, of putting like, you know what, I want to train this specific character.
Mm-hmm.
The way I've trained, way it's been battled is different than going through a selection screen, you know, just because it feels different. So that it definitely does.
Yeah. And I hope that the Switch ports Smash, and I hope that they bring Amiibo compatibility to it, and I hope that people get excited about using Amiibo again. I really do. But since Smash Brothers, I don't think Nintendo has really figured out or cared much as far as the implementation of Amiibo in game. Right. They have seen them as collectibles. I mean, we have a Mega Yarn Yoshi, right? Mm-hmm. Everything about that should scream you should be able to play as a giant Yoshi in that game that you could actually play as in a game, but that giant Amiibo doesn't unlock that giant Yoshi in the game. How does that not work?
Yep.
You know? Like, that giant Yoshi plays the exact same way as the other three smaller, differently colored yarn Yoshis. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just an example of how Nintendo just didn't bother to put in a little extra care to making the Amiibo feel special as toys to life figures. They have always been collectibles first and not much else after that. So, thank you, TJ. I agree with you, but you know there are certain stances that I'm going to stick true to. But I absolutely see your points. I honestly wish more people, TJ, felt the way that you did about, and still do, about Amiibo and how you use them and how awesome they are, because Nintendo has the capability of making these things so amazing. You know, the fact that they came out of the gate and said, we're not going to limit them to one game. You're going to be able to use these things in all these different games that we're going to publish. Right then and there, you have the capability of mixing and matching figures and games like no other Toys to Life game has ever done. And instead, they just use them to unlock a costume or some coins, or, you know, like, the potential is there, and I just don't see the excitement from Nintendo about Amiibo, and that makes us and the community feel less excited about the Amiibo themselves, you know?
Yep.
Without the passion coming from Nintendo, it's hard to expect the passion from the collectors.
Yep, so, I'd agree.
Thank you, TJ. We love you. We need to get TJ on the show. Why have we never had him on this podcast?
We never have we?
I don't think so, no.
We need to definitely have him on.
Yeah.
We do.
Next email, this is from Tashmon. Hello, Toys for Games cast. It's been a while since I've wrote in. I felt that since it's the new year and all, I should fix that. My question for you tonight is about the up-and-coming Lightseekers. I know it's not really fair to compare Lightseekers with Skylanders, but I do feel there are enough similarities for me to at least start a discussion. My question for you is, what do you think that Lightseekers should do that Skylanders, or any other Toys to Life franchise, for that matter, doesn't? For me personally, I think Lightseekers need to emphasize and flesh out their characters. As much as I love Skylanders, the characters can be pretty weak sometimes. I think that both Skylanders or SSA, SSA. Spyro's Adventure. Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. I know I've seen that abbreviation before. I was missing the words. I think that both Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure, and Trap Team have some pretty weak links in their roster in general, and the Skylanders only really speak in puns and fourth wall breaks. Giving the Lightseekers real personalities and real character will greatly benefit the game and property. Thanks as always for reading.
Yeah, Yeah, so it's interesting. This is going to be like the argument as far as Disney Infinity versus Skylanders, as far as are they going to benefit or not from being able to create their own characters. Some of Disney Infinity, it's hard because they have this character, but I mean, again, like specifically talk about like C-3PO and R2-D2, but they have to fit to this mold,
right?
So they're kind of boxed in, or like characters, they can't make them seem too similar to other things, and different stuff like that. But on the flip side of Skylanders, it's hard. It's hard to make a character from scratch and make it something that people can relate to, that people feel connected to.
Especially when there's so many.
Right. So I think the thing the Lightseekers can do with it is make each one unique. I don't really know. I mean, as far as online play stuff, like I don't really care as far as the balance of it all.
Right.
As long as each one is unique in a way, like even some like RPGs, like I think it's easy to say like some RPGs, like it's okay, this class is definitely more powerful, but you've missed this. Skylanders, you feel like it's all there's traits differences, but at the end of the day, they feel the same.
Yeah, you can
like
get the job done with whoever.
Right. Yeah. So you kind of have to play different. So I feel they can do something with that, and again, add more stats to it, add each thing creativity to it. I mean, wasn't there something like they initially talk about like how much you can adapt your character?
I think so, yeah.
From the get-go. So I mean, there's a lot to it. So they can definitely flesh out the actual creation. And again, it seems like they're not going to be chucking 80 characters at once. So each one's going to feel polished head to toe.
Yep. I also think that they could benefit from putting more emphasis on the elements and how they're used. Like the elements like control what kind of Skylanders they are, and they will open up a gate or something. But other than that, like it doesn't matter like which element you are. It doesn't matter at all. So I want to see more use of the elements that they have. So we'll see. We just have to wait and see. I think with having only a couple characters and then, being able to switch weapons and shields and that kind of stuff will drastically give them better chances at developing their characters and making them characters that you care about. So next emails are from Guadalupe. Says, I hope everyone is having a great 2017. I know there has been a lot of losses in 2016, RIP Disney Infinity and Wii U, but I think 2017 will be a great year. If you haven't answered this yet, is it possible to ask you if you have some goals you want to accomplish for the Toys for Games brand? This includes the bajillion podcasts you guys seem to have. Thank you, and let's have a great year. P.S. Can someone tell Matt not to be upset he got my gender wrong in episode 100? I just found it funny. No harm, no foul. I think Matt did refer to Guadalupe as a she.
We all know Matt's the most professional out of this thing, so he wants to make sure he keeps that up there. So
right.
Somebody has to when Josh and I are what we are.
Hey, we went into episode 100 with no expectations, so
yeah.
I don't know. What are some goals, Jason, for you for 2017? I know 2017 already looks different for you. You're going in with a pretty steady relationship. Some life goals are starting to happen for you. Kind of changes things. Like we're not going to be going to PAX East that I know of.
Right.
Hopefully we can still make it out to E3 in June. But like, what are you looking at here?
Yeah. So, I do have some plans for 2017. Some refining, refocusing kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Stuff I won't all talk about now. So finalizing all the details and making sure everything's working on the back end of it all. Gotta love technology stuff. So stuff hopefully reveal sometime in February or March timeframe. But yeah, I don't really necessarily have any goals. I mean, stuff with ours, like I feel like the fluidity of it all. I'm getting back to enjoying. I mean, to give you a little bit of a sneak peek of it all. Getting back to enjoying the hobby of it all and not making it. To be honest, to talk before, it's basically been a second job.
Yeah.
And putting a lot of hours and time into it. And it's getting to the point where it's like, this is too much. So making it back to what I've said all along, what I want to be is just be a hobby with you, with the community, and enjoy it with the community, not trying to be this, full-blown leader, journalist kind of thing to it. It's starting to get to that point where I was like, okay, I was trying to do this to try to simplify things. At the end of the day, I was trying to help people save money and keep them up to date as possible because I felt like places were not taking things seriously or weren't being clear. So,
sure.
trying to get back to that the root of it all. The reason I wanted to do this from the get go. So not really so much goals like tangent, like, oh, I want to hit this number of things, do these kind of things, but just basically trying to make it refocused and still continue to reach out as much as possible to people. But again, be involved more with the community, because again, the bigger we get, unfortunately, the less involved we get to be with people,
right?
Because we're worried about this or that. So yeah, basically just refocusing again. Go back to the time when I was able to, tweet back to every single person that's tweeted to me, reach out personally, write longer notes to people, stuff like that, versus now trying to do X, Y, and Z all at the same time. Just try to be a little bit more clear and focused with everything.
Yep. I think that that makes a lot of sense. One thing that I have learned in 101 episodes now is planning too far ahead is almost impossible for what we do here, because things change so quickly sometimes. So being able to be loose and flexible, adapt as things grow, as things evolve, as things decline. But yeah, just like continuing to lead this community, be a part of this community, and bigger and better things, hopefully for not just us, but for everybody involved. So no real specifics, but just look out for some things. Let's just say that. Next email is from DMU Girl. She says, Happy New Year. Here are this week's questions for you, Jason. LEGO Dimensions. Since there is a possibility Power Rangers is coming, one, what characters would be figures?
I mean, it's either one of those things that you do one and do it, the multi thing, or just do all the initial core ones. But like someone that made a good point, if it comes, it's going to be based off the movie. So, right. But again, like it's one of those, they haven't gone too far in making, I guess the DC Comics is the only one you can compare it to. But that's really kind of unfair to compare it with that. But I feel like they have to do one or all the Power Rangers.
I say you have to go all five.
And that's the thing, because if they get it, it's a big get. It's not something like, oh, cool, their brains LEGO Dimensions. It's big because it was been able to make me it'd be a huge get for LEGO.
Right.
So they would push it hard. So yeah.
I mean, just because just the colors alone just stand out so uniquely. I mean, the suits and everything pretty much all look the same and whatever, but like just the colors are so distinct. Like it's not like the Ghostbusters where you have like 4 guys or 4 ladies. They look different or whatever, but like all their suits look the same, Power Rangers, like there are distinctive color differences. So I think having all of them would be important.
Yeah. I mean, to put out for people who don't know, Arthur Parsons tweeted out Sunday or on New Year's Eve, Saturday night, then, right? Yeah. Happy New Year to you all. 2016 was super awesome. However, 2017 is going to be something special. You have been warned. Smiley face. # Lego Morphosis.
Oh.
Read into it as you wish.
Oh, Arthur.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like, I feel like that's too obvious.
Yeah.
But
at the same time,
I don't know.
It makes so much sense, too.
Makes so much sense.
What's your favorite Ranger?
I've always been partial to the red one.
Really? Yeah, that makes sense.
And I know it's like, yeah. I don't know why.
You like your generic leaders.
It's true.
Captain America, Red Ranger.
Yeah. So yeah, I've always been partial. I mean, obviously everyone likes the White Ranger, but yeah, it's always been red or white.
Sure. White was pretty sweet.
Or blue. Go America. No.
Shocking.
But they no, yeah, it's always just been the red. It seemed to be that one, and like the blue one I always liked just because blue was like my favorite color growing up. But I always go back to the red. Didn't he the one have like the pterodactyl vehicle?
Probably. I don't know. They've changed up so many different things. I can't tell you.
I think he was the pterodactyl.
Which pack are you looking forward to in 2017?
He was not. I lied. Sorry, Long's Toys is going to be yelling at me. Pink Ranger was a pterodactyl.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Sorry.
I believe you. Red Ranger might have had a pterodactyl at some point. I mean, let's be real here.
He did.
LEGO Dimensions. What packs in 2017 are you most looking forward to?
LEGO Dimensions packs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for the LEGO Batman movie.
Yep.
So I'm excited for the story pack. I'm underwhelmed with the Batcave story. The thing.
I just want the figures in to play the game.
Right. I feel like that's gonna be filled with so much stuff.
Yep.
It's gonna be super fun to play.
They're adapting a Lego movie into a Lego game. Like it works,
yeah.
you know.
There's gonna be so much. I figure there's gonna be so many good puns in it and everything. It comes out the Friday. I think Amy's coming home for my birthday weekend, so she doesn't know this yet. But she's taking me out to see Lego Batman for my birthday, so I cannot wait. But I'm excited for that. Goonies level pack is gonna be so interesting.
Yep.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So for that, Powerpuff Girl molds, excited to get new Lego kind of pieces. See what they do with that. And again, I still feel like there's something unknown. Still something feeling unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Maybe that is Power Rangers.
Who knows?
Who knows? We'll see. Of the Lightseekers characters, what's your favorite?
I still like Jax.
Jax? Is that his name?
Isn't it Jax? Yeah.
I don't think Jax is his name.
Isn't it?
Trax?
Trax.
Yeah. T-Rex.
Yeah. Listen, man.
It's late. I know. You're tired. A couple more emails here. Let's get to it. Green Armadillo writes in. Dear gentlemen, Happy New Year. Sometimes being in the UK and seeing stuff widely available, I just assume it's also out in the US. At least until it becomes a thing, like Thrillipede. So it was only after a recent tweet by Jason that I realized that you were still waiting on something that has been saturated on airwaves over here. I'm talking about the cinematic tour de force that is Monster Trucks. In support of the film's Boxing Day UK release, you can't walk into a mall in England without seeing video clips played on monitors. I get sponsored tweets on my feed daily, even before I quoted one of you guys, which incidentally has significantly increased the number of spam accounts following me on Twitter. Is this film not getting the recognition it deserves over in the US?
It's weird because I know Zippo about the UK market,
right?
But it just doesn't seem like something the UK people would be interested in. It seems like 100% this is a dumb American movie.
America.
Yeah,
America and Monster Trucks,
yeah, goes hand in hand like apple pie.
Yeah, I'm surprised this isn't a 4th of July release. Let's just be honest.
100%. And so I've seen, man, I've seen commercials on TV.
Yeah,
I forget what network I was watching. But yeah, there's been next to nothing as far as I can see. I don't think there's even merchandise for it.
I bet if I asked 100 people if they've heard of the movie Monster Trucks, I'm going to say probably 97 people would say no.
Yeah.
There is no buzz for this movie at all. None. Rob Lowe is apparently a character in this movie. He's listed on IMDb as the star of the movie. He isn't in any trailer at all. Nobody knows what Rob Lowe does in this film. Yet he's associated with this film. It's going to be a beautiful disaster. And Jason, you're going to see it on day one.
Yeah, but off air, Josh and I went over the movies coming out that weekend.
Yeah.
I think it's going to win.
It is the only name that we have heard of that entire weekend that's coming out. So it's going to dominate the box office. Unless Rogue One is still just killing it.
Right.
That's a very real possibility. But as far as new movies are concerned, it's going to be the top grossing film. Probably just because you and Vince are going. It's that
I'm trying
bad.
to see. Oh, I take it back. It's not going to win now. I missed a movie. I don't know how it was in the other list I was looking at. There's 1,400 movies coming out in Fandango. One that was not listed on the list that I read to you.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots Day comes out that day.
Yeah.
Patriots Day is going to win. But then Monster Trucks number 2, unless Sleepless comes in with Jamie Foxx.
Can't count out Jamie Foxx. Next
Which I also say, I'm also excited for Patriots Day. I'm excited to check that movie out.
Sure. Just not day one. Excited. Next email is from Jeff Grimes. He writes in and says, "Hey guys, I'll preface this email by stating that we are a Nintendo family and the only console we own is the Wii U. My question is, What are your thoughts on LEGO Dimensions for the Switch? Has there been any confirmation that it will be available? How do you think they will handle the starter packs since this is the first time a new console has come out after the game launched? I'm hoping for some kind of Portal Owners pack, maybe with a Green Arrow figure. Just a thought. What would you like to see?
Sorry, I'm about to get in a Twitter argument with somebody. What was the question?
LEGO Dimensions on Switch. Is it happening? I say not this version of LEGO Dimensions. They will hold off for LEGO Dimensions 2. That will launch on the Switch along with all the other consoles. I don't think the LEGO Dimensions that we currently have will be brought to the Switch. It doesn't make sense financially.
Yeah, I think...
We're not going to get new starter packs just for the Switch.
Well...
You think so?
I don't know. Again, it's going to be... Let me put it this way. It depends what Nintendo's been targeting other people as far as what they want.
Yeah.
They want the console to be. So I'm sure they're telling people like, hey, we're targeting for this. Don't make this. You know, like I'm sure they're saying that to people because they're trying to... I feel like this one they're being a little bit more, I don't say controlling, but upfront and, you know, things like that. But
I mean, between the Switch release and theoretically we should see LEGO Dimensions 2, like probably September, like that's a 6-month window. They're not going to put out a starter pack of LEGO Dimensions for the Switch and then turn around and then ask people to buy another starter pack 6 months later for the new game.
Right. But the reason I think on the opposite side is that Nintendo and LEGO has had as close as a relationship as you can get for a third party.
Yeah.
So they'd want to get any support they can get. LEGO Dimensions still being big, but again, it depends. Like if they want to avoid that market, they avoid, you know, who really knows.
Right.
At this point, I think it depends on what Nintendo wants on there. If they want it, they'll get it. If they don't, they won't.
Yeah.
So we'll get that kind of question maybe answered next week.
Yeah.
But if it's something they're okay with targeting, I think they'll bring it because I think there's enough thing like from LEGO's perspective or TT Games, they'll see money being there. You know.
Right.
They can't control Nintendo not releasing, you know, when they release it. So they, you know, they're not going to change their plans for it.
Sure.
We might not see it till the fall. Absolutely might not see it till like, you know, later on, tacking a Lord of Vortex exclusive figure to it.
Right.
But who knows?
Yeah. We'll see. Next is from BDK. It says, hey guys, BDK here. It's been a long time since I've written in, but let's just say when life hits, it hits hard. Congratulations on 101 episodes, and I wish you both the best going forward. In November, I purchased LEGO Dimensions and the Sonic level pack during Black Friday. My first instinct is to jump right into Sonic's level, but what do you guys think I should do first? I say play the whole story.
Sonic's, yeah, that's what I said all along. It just it feels better if you just do it that way. You're not missing anything really the other way. I think it's a more enjoyable way.
Yeah. You could play through the story. You could bring in whatever other figures you have. Let them like play through the story also, but save the extra stories and level packs and stuff for after you complete the story. Yeah, that's always my advice and will always be my advice. Last email of the night here. This is from our friend Alex. What?
I was gonna tell you real quick my Twitter argument I was getting with somebody.
Yeah.
They tweeted. I don't think they even follow me. I think it's because of the Disney Infinity link's been getting popular.
Sure.
With the figure, they're like, not exactly. This is a mock-up by a digital artist, not a concept for an actual product. See more at this link, which is like the link on the picture.
Okay.
I'm like, right, it's by a digital artist who made the figure designs for Disney Infinity, and then they deleted their tweet. Okay.
Nobody's saying this is an actual figure.
Now they deleted. Touche. I just read the artist about page. I still the concept was intended for production. Timeline doesn't fit. What are you talking about? Okay, sorry. I'm going ahead. Go ahead.
Why do you do this to yourself? Last emails from Antari Alex. He wrote in and said, Dear Josh and Jason, it's been far too long. I hope your holidays were festive and enjoyable, and that you're ready for a whole new year of podcasting, because I've got plenty of questions for you in 2017. While Nintendo has seen some ups and downs over the last few years, the imminent release of the Switch has them poised for a triumphant return this year. The Amiibo craze, meanwhile, doesn't have many promising prospects. Do you think that doing more Amiibo bundles for new releases, such as Mario Kart and Smash Bros. Releases, or Skyrim HD, would hurt or help Nintendo's game sales and Amiibo awareness in the long run? Personally, even though I already have Smash for Wii U and bought all the DLC, if they did a new version with an exclusive Smash Ball or Master Hand amiibo, I would buy it again at the drop of a hat. I'm going to bring this up again because we've dropped this like jokingly before, but I think there is a very real possibility that Corrin or Bayonetta get dropped into a bundle with the port of Smash Brothers for the Switch.
Yep.
100% think that's a very legit possibility. It would be genius of them, you know?
I think so. Absolutely would be.
Because people really want those amiibo, you know? And one, they'd be buying the amiibo, but two, they'd be ensuring that they're getting a game for a new console that they're really hoping to sell gangbusters of. And if they have the amiibo functionality along with it, then you're instantly being able to use that amiibo in the new game that you bought. It makes sense all the way around. So, yeah, I think bundling amiibo with games is a smart thing. Like I have always enjoyed it. It has sold games like Chibi Robo that people wouldn't buy otherwise, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not like that's boostering sales or whatever, like who cares? Like you're still getting that game into the hands of people that wouldn't have give it a shot, that some may have really enjoyed it. So like the Box Boy amiibo, okay, perfect. Box Boy, you know, it had its audience, but you put an amiibo with it, it's instantly going to get more people to pay attention to the game specifically, and that's always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes amiibo more interesting. It makes it more compelling. It makes them feel like they're necessary for games. Going back to our first email, that's an important thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be exclusive in there. They might do like the timed exclusivity kind of thing.
I'm not saying permanently, but
yeah, 100% they would. Because I think it'll be fair. Because I think a lot of people are like, I'm not gonna buy that game again. They already had it, and like hopefully if I didn't, like, okay, you know what, this is better on the Switch, or you know,
yep.
Now I can play with whatever, you know, and it's like, okay, well, actually this was a smart decision because now I got the game.
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of potential, man. I'm looking forward to next week. We'll probably record before the Switch announcement, but you know, who knows what might leak out beforehand or anything like that. If it's amiibo related, it's probably going to leak out. That seems to be what happens, but we will definitely see. It's been a fun show. It's been a lot of fun, Jason. I know you are super exhausted. You're tired. You've had a long several last days. So why don't you tell the people where they could find you at, and we'll sign off here.
Yeah, you can follow me personally on Twitter, twitter.com/JasonInquires. That's also my YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook handle as well. If you want to follow me on any of those social networks, you can also head to the Toys to Life centric accounts of Brick Inquirer and Skylanders Inquirer. If you are looking specifically for those.
Awesome. You can find me personally on Twitter at The Noise with a Y. Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at Toys for Games. You can email us, podcast@toysforgames.com. Check out the website, of course, is toysforgames.com. Join the Facebook group. Join the conversation. Have a lot of fun with the guys over there. Facebook.com/groups/toysforgames. Tell Ken I sent you. He will appreciate that, I promise you. And if you'd like to support us and what we do for you guys, the entire community, you could do so over at patreon.com/toysforgames. Jason, thank you once again. It's nice to be back. Hope everybody enjoyed what we brought here tonight. Until next time, my friends, happy hunting, collectors.